Hi and welcome to tape 2. In this tape we're going to work on footwork, hand and elbow techniques. Now from tape 1 you should already know how to wrap your hands. If you don't, go back and review it. It's important that you do it properly to protect your hands and wrists from injury. Now you should know about the tie shorts from tape 1 also, and your cup, and your ankle supports. And as we did in tape 1, you want to stretch out and warm up. If you need to, review that tape again. Remember, you want to make sure all your joints are loose, your muscles are warm. It's important that you're not stiff. Be relaxed. Start with the shoulders, big circles. I'm just going to do a very abbreviated version of some of those stretches that we did in that first tape. Stretch your waist, bend over, your knees. It's also good to stretch out after you work out. Loosen up the ankle. Stretch your lat out, your ribs. Nice and slow. Make sure you're relaxed, you're not tight. That's the most important thing. Cross your legs, bend over. Shake everything out. Roll the neck around, flap your wrists. Now we're ready to start basic Muay Thai. We're going to start with the guard. You want to start with your feet approximately shoulder width apart. You don't want them too far apart, nor too close. And have your weight comfortably on the balls of your feet. Now if you're right-handed, you're going to bring your left foot forward. That'll be your lead. And if you're left-handed, reverse everything. You want to raise your weight on your back foot and open the ankle so you have your heel raised. Bring your hands up, your right hand in front of your right eyebrow, your left hand out in front of your face. Let's start again. Left foot forward, raise the right heel, and turn the foot out, about 45 degrees. Raise the hands, and keep your chin behind your shoulder. Keep the right hand by the eyebrow in front of the face. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Here's how it looks from behind. See, I'm on the ball of the foot, my ankle is open here, I'm on the ball of the foot. When my heel is down, it's closed. And rock back and forth, gently shifting your weight forward and backwards. Now one more time. Shoulder width apart, left foot forward, on the ball of the back foot. Now if you're left-handed, everything is reversed. Right foot forward, on the ball of the left foot, turn it 45 degrees. Relax. That's your basic Muay Thai on guard position. Okay, hands up. Now we'll work on footwork. If you're right-handed, put your left foot in the front and rock back and forth. To go forward, move the front foot first. Just like this. To go backwards, same thing, back foot first. To go left, move the left foot first, follow with the right. To go right, move the right foot first and follow with the left. Whichever direction you're going to go in, move that foot first. When you move, you want to keep your chin down and keep your hands up. Protect yourself. You're more vulnerable when you're moving. Keep the shoulder up, chin down and hands up. Go back, move the back foot first. Follow with the front. Go forward, move the front foot first. Stay on the balls of the feet.
ครับดูนะ4-5 องศา9เก็บคาง9 step
See how my students do it.
step 9เวิร์กนะครับนะ9ข้างหน้าพยายาม9แล้วพยายาม
When you're working with students, it's important that you correct them if they don't stay on the ball of their foot.
ครับก้าวเท้าหลังก่อนนะครับแล้วก็เท้าหน้าตาม
You got to keep that ankle open
ไม่สูงคิดไม่สูง
and be on the ball so you can move.
หน้านี่สำหรับฟุตเวิร์กมวยไทยแบบเบสิก
This is the basic footwork from Muay Thai.
ทีนี้เราจะฟุตเวิร์กให้เร็วขึ้น
Now I'll show you how to move a little faster.
ยืนในปลายเท้าตัวเอง
Still stay on the balls of your feet. It's the same thing, only faster.
เวลาเราชกมวยก้าวเร็วขึ้นดูจังหวะให้ช้าเก็บคางลงช้าเก็บคางลงนะฮะพยายาม
Move in and out.
ไหลตัวเองขึ้นเก็บคางน้ำหนักตัวไปข้างหน้าหน่อยนะครับดึงให้ช้าจังหวะลงมองเขาขึ้น
We're rocking back and forth.
นะครับเวลามองเขามอง
Now when you look at an opponent, look at him from the waist up, from the head down. Focus on that general area.
ลงดูที่ว่าเขาจะออกอาวุธอะไรมาหาเรา
Watch how they move.
นะครับก้าวไปข้างหน้า
Watch what they do before they throw a punch or a kick. Study them.
ครับเราเคลื่อนตัวให้เร็วขึ้นนี่คือมวยไทยเรานะครับสำหรับฟูดเวิร์กแบบ
Now moving on from basic footwork, the first thing we have is the slide.
นะครับต่อไปเราอาจจะให้เขาฝึกสไลด์
When you slide,
ครับสไลด์ไปข้างหน้า
you're going to move the same way. If you're going backwards, you move the back foot first.
ดูนะครับก้าวไปข้างหน้า2ก้าวหลังแล้วพยายามเปิดส้น
Stay on the ball of the foot, open the ankle,
ดูนะครับ1 2เปิดส้น
and slide the front foot back.
2
You want to push off the front foot, transferring the weight onto the ball of the back foot. As you push off the front foot, jump back. From there, you can also jump back in, like this. So this technique can be used as both a defensive technique to jump back and away from an opponent, or you can counter off it. You would slide back and then jump back in.
นะครับดูนะครับเขาเลยจะเข้าไป1 2
Hop back and in.
1ครับอันนี้ครับสำหรับสไลด์แบกจัมป์
So again, the slide can be used just for a defensive technique or to set up a counter. Now I'll show you some basic hand techniques. The first is the jab. Keep your arm and wrist straight, your chin down. Be on the ball of your back foot. Open the ankle up to transfer the power forward. Now you can switch leads, just reverse everything. After you jab, bring the hand right back. It's important to protect your face. When I jab, I transfer my weight from my back leg forward by opening my ankle, being on the ball of the foot. That's how I get my power. Now when you jab, just don't stand there. Move and jab. Move and jab. Keep the shoulder up. Don't jab down. Jab up. Or straight across. Jab and move. Again, when you jab, keep your shoulder tight but loose. Tight to your cheek. Now I'm going to move and jab some more, a little quicker. See how I transfer the power? Make sure you get the power off of the back leg through your body. Snap it out. Bring it right back. Don't stand still. Move. Jab and move. Now I'll show you how to work with some students. Watch them closely. When you're working with students, you must correct them. Now keep the hands up. Jab and move. You bring the hand right back to the face. Staying on the balls of the feet, opening up the back ankle to transfer the power through the body and to the arm. If you don't bring the hand right back to the face, you're wide open to get hit by an opponent. Don't be slow, and make sure you transfer the power. Nice and quick. Snap it out and bring it right back.
Good. Good. Show out.
Now, if you work out on your own, don't get lazy. You've got to be your own teacher and make sure that you do all the things I'm saying. It's very easy to get sloppy. It's very important that you transfer the power from the back leg through your body to your arm. That's where all your power comes from. Not from the arm, but from your body, from your legs. When you jab, extend all the way out. Don't punch down. Extend straight out. Be quick.
When you work out by your own, you have to hand up all the time. Don't stop and make it easy way for you, okay?
Now Nick was kind of punching down, the student on the left. Let's see how he does now. Much better.
Good. Up. Nice. Yeah. Up. That's good. นะครับการแยกมวยไทยนั้นพยายามแยกทุกครั้งเนี่ย
So remember, keep the chin down, make sure the power comes from the leg, the shoulder stays up. Now when you jab, make sure you keep your right hand, if you're jabbing with the left, up. Keep the opposite hand up to protect the head. It's got to protect the head from a kick or a punch. You're vulnerable when you punch or jab, so keep the other hand up. Now once again, let's go over the basic jab. When you jab, you can stay on the ball of your foot, keep the ankle open, keep the shoulder in, down and in, other hand up by the eyebrow. If you switch lead, same thing. And when you work out, you have to correct your partner. If you're using focus gloves or kick pads, whatever it is, make sure that they're on the ball of their foot, they transfer the power through. Make sure that if he's making mistakes, you're the one who notices them. When I work with my students, I make sure they do all of this. They make a mistake, I correct them. You've got to pay attention because people can't see what they're doing, so it's your job to make sure that they don't make a mistake. Now I'm going to work with a few of my students. This first student has had a few fights. I've worked with him for about 4 years. Watch him closely. He punches straight out on the ball of his foot. He's a more advanced student. See how he comes forward, ball of the foot, arm straight out. Now the second student I've worked with for a shorter period of time. He's much newer to the whole Muay Thai experience. He's done very well though in this short amount of time. But he doesn't extend the arm out far enough. Watch this part of the tape several times and see if you can see the difference between the two students.
Slow, hang on, slow. Open the angle, open that, keep the chin down. Good. More, fast.
Both bring their shoulder up very well. Shoulder has to be loose and relaxed. Don't make the shoulder tight. It's got to be loose and relaxed so you can throw the punch. When you fight, you have to fool your opponent with the jab. Sometimes you'll throw it, sometimes you won't. You might step forward and jab, or you'd step back and jab. Step to the left and jab, step to the right and jab. You can move fast and jab. That has been your basic Muay Thai jab. We're now going to talk about the cross. The cross is your other hand. If you are a left lead, it's going to be the right hand, and reverse it for the other side. After you've worked on your jab, you should work on your cross. The cross is also known as a straight punch. So when in your stance, after you jab, bring the jab back. Don't drop your hands. Always bring it right back. Don't drop it down. You drop it down, you'll get kicked or punched in the neck or head. Right back to the head. After you jab, the cross follows. Make sure that you come from the back. This is the power punch, more powerful than the jab. Turn the whole body into it. Jab, then cross. Extend out. Here's how it looks from the side. Jab, then cross. See how I'm on the ball of my foot? All the power. Open my ankle. All the power. Jab comes right back, then I cross. Then the cross comes back. Jab, then cross. This is the 1-2 combination. It's the most basic combination. 1-2. Jab, cross. Jab, cross. Make it quick. The cross is your power punch. You set it up with the jab. Get the whole body into it. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to do it by breaking it down. Here's how you do the cross. See how I turn my body? My whole body's into it. From my foot, up my leg, to my back. Bring the hand right back to the chin. You've got to be on the defensive right afterwards. Throw all your power out and bring it back. Turn the body into it. Remember, this is your power punch. You've got to use all your power. Set it up with the jab and then come through with the cross. You can move fast and throw the cross. Don't be slow. Don't be sloppy. Make sure you bring the hands back. I can't overemphasize this. After you throw the punches, bring them right back. Don't drop the hands. When working out with students or a partner, it's very important that you observe what they're doing. Just don't stand there and hold the pads and let them hit them. Your job is more important. You have to watch what they're doing and correct any mistake they make, and encourage them if they're doing things properly. Make sure that they come through and turn and hit the pads properly. Just don't stand there holding the pads. Now once again, I'll be working with a newer student and a more experienced student. Watch them both to see the difference and to see that they turn their hip, they get their body into the punch. The newer student is a little tighter usually. Let's see what happens. First we'll have the more experienced student. Walter looks pretty good, but he's not turning his shoulder enough. He's on the ball of the foot, but he doesn't come through with the cross. He needs to extend more and come from the back power, to bring the power from the back of the leg. Needs to extend more. Now let's watch Nick. He's the newer student. He needs to be a little looser. He's not letting the shoulder go. He doesn't bring it through. He's not as quick either, but that comes with more with experience. Not bad though for a new student. So this is what you must do. You must correct the students or your partner and show them what they're doing, what they're not doing. We want to see the power come from the back leg. The cross is a knockout punch. If you throw it right, if you do what I tell you, you can knock somebody out in the ring. Keep the shoulder loose. You've got to throw the punch out there. Snap it out. Now this is better. I think you can see how his punch is stronger here. And you can hear the pad being hit. That's the sound you want to hear. And Nick looks a little better here too. He's still tight in the shoulder. It's hard to keep your arms up and be loose.
หนักแน่นน้ำหนักมากขึ้น
But if you're tight, you can't be quick.
เราต่อยถูกต้องเราชกถูกต้องแล้วเนี่ยน้ำหนักจากหมัดขวาออกไปเนี่ย
You want to make it fast.
น็อกได้ง่ายๆน็อกคนได้ง่ายๆเลยฉะนั้น
If you're tight, you can't be fast.
เคลื่อนตัวยังไงออกหมัดยังไงถึงจะน้ำหนักมากฉะนั้น
So this is a way to work with students and partners. Watch them closely and give them feedback. So far, I've told you about the jab and the cross. When you jab, make sure you stay on the ball of the foot and transfer the weight forward from the back leg. Same thing for the cross, but turn the body more. More power, that's your power punch. See how I transfer my weight forward? I turn my body. Replace one shoulder with the other for the cross. Look at the back leg. That power comes straight up. This is your basic combination. 1, 2. Jab, cross. Power from the leg, not from the arm. Keep the shoulder loose. You're going to be on the ball of the foot. Open the ankle. All right. Now I'm going to show you another punch. It's called the hook. In Muay Thai, we have two types of hooks, the short hook and the long hook. The short hook is when the opponent comes into you. He's approaching, you can hook him to the head or the neck and the body. The long hook is used when he's farther away from you and you want to reach out to him. Muay Thai hook is different from most Western boxers. They squat down, they turn the body very little, bend the knees, the power is down there. Muay Thai is different. We stand the balls of our feet. We make our arm parallel with the ground, and the knuckles are square when we hit. The knee doesn't bend as much, but the foot pivots. That's the important difference. We turn our body into the punch. See how I turn? My arm is parallel with the ground, and I pivot on that front foot. Turn your whole body into the punch. Once again, the power comes from the body, not from the arm. Pivot on that foot. Turn. You can punch high, you can hook low, but always keep the arm parallel to the ground. Make sure you move when you throw all your punches. Just don't stand there. Be active. Hook high, hook high, hook low. Now when you hook, make sure you keep the other hand up. Just like your other punches, you've got to cover with the other hand. Keep it parallel to the ground, the hooking arm. Make the knuckles square. High or low, same technique. Pivot on that foot. That's where the power comes from, turning your body into it. Keep the shoulder loose. Use your legs to drive through. Once again, see how the power comes from my leg up through my ankle. Okay, that's the short hook. Now I'm going to show you the long hook, which differs a little bit. Directed towards the head usually. You're going to step in and reach out. The palm can be facing down, like in the short hook, or the palm can be facing you, towards your face. Either is acceptable. You want to step in, turn and hook. Follow through with the elbow. Make sure the power comes from behind, just like the short hook. Step in and turn.
น้ำหนักทิ้งออกไป
Keep the shoulder loose and turn.
ครั้งหนึ่งฮึบ
Step in and turn.
หุบ
Move. Just don't be static.
ฮึบฮึบสวัสดีครับเมื่อกี้ผมโชว์
Alright, so far we've gone over the short hook and the long hook, both with the lead hand.
แล้วมาหัดหมัดฮุกที่ยาวหมัด
Now when you hook,
ฮุกที่หน้า
You can hook to the head, you can hook to the body.
ลองฮุกยาวๆเนี่ยจะแตกต่างกันนิดนึง
Always turn though when you hook.
ฮุกที่
Don't
หน้า
drop the hand when you hook. The other hand. Keep your guard up. Make sure you turn the leg. That's where your power comes from. From your legs. Pivot that leg. Pivot that foot. Turn. Low hook. Same thing. But always keep the opposite hand up. You've got to protect yourself. Drop your hand, you could get punched or elbowed to the head. And that won't feel good. Keep it up. Protect yourself while you hook. Bring the shoulder up to your cheek when you hook. It helps protect that side, the punching side. Alright, so now we've gone over the short hook and the long hook. Make sure you don't drop the opposite hand. It's very important that you defend yourself while throwing punches. Now I'm going to show you how to work out with a student or a friend, hold the pads for them, so they can work on their hook. And watch what they do. You can learn for yourself also by correcting them. Make sure they turn. Keep the arm parallel to the ground. The first student is my student Walter. Watch how he works out. Yes, he needs to pivot more and keep the arm more parallel with the ground. Like that. See how it's parallel? Just like that. You keep the elbow up like that because you can follow through with the elbow and cut them with your elbow. Go right through, and sometimes you'll cook them and then hit them with the elbow also. So it's very good to follow through with the elbow. I want him to turn his leg more though. If he turns it more, he'll have more power.
Right hand up, right hand up. Up, chin down. Up, good. Chin down. Up, up.
He snaps it out very nicely.
Turn more, turn more.
But turn more.
On the body. Hook.
That's a low hook.
Now hook.
Those are body shots. This is higher for the head.
Okay, นะครับ long hook. Long hook. Good, again. Right hand up, right hand up.
He should still turn more. That's it, right there.
Good. Right hand up. Turn. Turn. Up. Up. Good. Up. Up. Good. Up.
He pivoted right there.
Up. Good. Up. Start hook. Up. Hook. Hook. Up. Hook. Good. Hook. Okay. Hook. Up. เห็นไหมครับ เวลาฮุกเราจะ
When you hook, make sure keep the knuckles square. The elbow goes through and parallel to the ground.
หมัดฮุกของมวยไทยแล้วนะครับ เราโชว์และแนะนำเพียงเท่านี้สำหรับหมัดฮุกเราโอเคนะครับ
So far, we've covered the hook that's both short and long with the lead hand.
ซ้ายเราถ้าเราฮุกซ้ายมือ
Power from the leg, keep the other hand up,
ออกไป
and turn.
แขนศอก
Elbow parallel with the ground and follow through with the elbow. Power from the
ฮุ
leg.
กเราจะฮุกขวาก็ได้
Now the other side, or your rear hand, same thing. It's a power punch. You're going to pivot the back foot instead of the front foot. Keep the elbow parallel, just like the front hand. It's the exact same motion, only it's from the other side. And you should have more power. You're turning the body, just like the front punch. Same thing. So that's the back hook. Now we'll move on to the uppercut. Now again, the uppercut is different from Western uppercuts. You want to wait till the opponent comes in. Keep your feet planted. Don't bend down like a Western boxer. It's different in Thai. We come up, get on our toes, and punch through. Keep the other hand up, just like all our other punches, and the power comes from the back leg, just like all the other punches. Turn up. Keep the other hand up, and rotate the shoulder. Turn the body through the punch. Don't squat down. That's not what we want to do here. Turn to the punch. Open the ankle, be on the balls of the feet.
กดออกไปน้ำหนักหมัดอัปเปอร์คัต
Whether it's the front or the back. The back is always more powerful because you get more of your body into it.
เหมือนกันฮึบ
But the front's a good punch too.
ฮึบฮึบอย่าทำ
Be able to use them both.
นะครับก้มอันนี้ผิด
You sit down. The reason we don't sit down like that in Muay Thai is you'll get kneed in the head or kicked in the head. That's why we don't go down. We stay up and straight.
ยกขึ้นเฉยๆยกขึ้นเฉยๆดูนะครับฮึบงุบ
Turn and throw it.
ดูนะครับช้าๆครับหนึ่ง
This is a very good punch to use when the opponent comes in close.
เปิดส้นฮึบขวา
Power comes from the legs, just like the other punches. Watch it from this angle.
ขึ้นขึ้นอัปเปอร์คัตขวาขึ้น
See how I turn my body? Power comes from my leg.
ฮึบอัปเปอร์คัตเสร็จแล้วก็กลับมือ
Turn
กลับที่เดิมฮึบ
Turn.
กลับที่เดิม
Bring the hand right back after you throw the punch.
ฮึบกลับที่เดิม
Turn the hip
เดิม
also.
นะฮะกลับที่
Turn
เดิม
right up.
สำหรับอัปเปอร์คัตก็
Alright, that's the basic uppercut.
สำคัญถ้าอัปเปอร์คัตหนึ่ง
Now what I don't want you to do is just use your arms.
ขวาขึ้น
Use your body.
ขวาซ้ายขึ้น
Bring your power through. Bring your hips through. That's where your power comes from your body.
อัปเปอร์คัตเสร็จแล้วมือกลับมาเข้า
Stay upright
อย่างนี้นะครับ
on the balls of your feet and turn the hip
ฮึบฮึบกลับฮึบฮึบ
like that.
ปลายเท้ายืน
Power comes from the legs.
อย่ายืนเต็มเท้าอย่างนี้
Don't be flat-footed. No good.
ยืนอย่างนี้หนึ่ง
On the balls of the foot so you can turn the hip in.
ฮึบ
You've got to use the body for your power.
ดูนะครับดูข้างนี้นะฮะ
See how I turn?
ดูข้างนี้
You can't do that if you're flat-footed.
ฮึบ
It's very important that you use the body.
คัดของมวยไทยก็มีเท่านี้นะครับโอเคนะครับทีนี้เราจะฝึกสำหรับอัปเปอร์คัตให้ดู
Now we're going to use the focus gloves to develop our uppercuts. Remember, turn from both sides. Always keep the other hand up. Turn the body. That's where the power comes from. Now the uppercut, like all the other punches, when you work on it with the focus gloves, you've got to watch your partner, make sure they're doing everything properly. Meet the punch with the pad, come down and hit their punch with the pad. Let's watch Walter.
ซ้ายซ้ายซ้ายซ้ายup
I want him to use more leg.
up
That's better.
โอเคอัปเปอร์คัต
He comes through the pad real solid. Now the right side.
ไปหาบอลฮึบฮึบฮึบ
More hip. Bring the body through it.
บุกไปฮึบฮึบ
But these are good uppercuts.
ฮึบทิศหม้อฮึบ
You can use more body,
ฮึบ
more power.
now left and right ฮึบฮึบleft and right
Now he's throwing a combination, left-right uppercut.
ฮึบฮึบบุกฮึบฮึบฮึบบุกฮึบgood again
Walter's worked very hard to develop these uppercuts.
โอเคแล้วเราวอเตอร์เขาจะทิ้งน้ำหนักออกไป
See how he turns. I want him to turn his body more though. Now let's look at Nick. He's a much newer student.
เล็บเล็บโอเค
His punches aren't as compact. He's a little wilder.
ฮึบ
I need him to turn more too.
right ฮึบฮึบ
The right's pretty good.
ฮึบฮึบ left and right ฮึบฮึบ
Now when you uppercut,
ฮึบฮึบ
you have to turn your hip
ฮึบ turn
and your body,
ปังปัง
just like that.
good hand up ฮึบฮึบ
Make sure you keep the opposite side hand up. Keep your chin down
โอเค
also while you uppercut. Keep it in tight.
หนึ่ง
Turn,
สอง
turn, just like that.
น้ำหนักต้อง
Power comes from the legs, just like the other punches.
นะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Turn, turn.
กลับที่เดิมอัปเปอร์คัตซ้าย
Keep the opposite hand up
อัปเปอร์คัตขวามือซ้ายขึ้น
no matter which punch you throw.
ครับกลับครับ
And always turn for your punches.
ครับนี่สำหรับหมัด
Alright, to review.
ไทยของเรา
Make sure you keep your chin down, your opposite hand up when you throw the punch. Turn your body, be on the balls of your feet.
สำหรับอัปเปอร์คัต
That's your basic Muay Thai uppercut.
โอ เคนะครับ
We're now ready to move on to combinations. Now, when you throw a combination, you want to do it at the right opening. A way to create an opening with an opponent is to move your body. You can lean in or lean back. By doing so, you'll either make the distance between the two of you less or more. This will give you the opportunity to throw a combination or even just a regular punch. Lean back. You can avoid a punch and then come back in with a punch. Go back on your foot when you lean back. Keep your hands up. It's always good to move. Don't be still. Move back and then come in. You can drop your hand to block a kick if he throws a kick. So that's how you can set up the opportunity for combinations. The first combination we're going to work on is the jab cross. We covered this a little bit before. This is your basic combination. 1-2. 1-2. Now you have to bring the hand right back. 1-2. Keep the shoulders loose so you can throw the punch out. Move. This is your most basic combination. This is the one you should work on first. Now we'll move on to the jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, and then left hook. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook. Now you've got to have all these punches down separately before you move on to the combinations. Keep moving. Before you hook, make sure you bring the right hand back to cover. Don't leave yourself open, then throw the hook. Bring it back, cover, hook. Don't rush yourself. Stay relaxed. But be quick. Alright. Next we're going to work on the jab, cross, weave, hook. Weave or lean, same thing. Jab, cross, then you would lean out to avoid your opponent, come in and hook. There's a beat between the punches. You want to have your timing down right.
1, 2, whip,
Don't rush it. Look for the opening. Now, the jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. These are all the punches you've learned so far. All in one combination. Jab, cross, bring the hand back, hook, cover, uppercut. Again, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Use your body, jab, cross, uppercut. Always bring the hands back to cover. That's the most important thing. Not throwing the punch, but making sure you don't leave yourself open. Then work on making it faster. Turn on the power. Alright, here's another one. Jab, uppercut, hook. Jab. Bring it back. Uppercut. Then the hook. Jab, uppercut, hook. This is a powerful combination when you're in close. Now the cross, hook, cross. Power. Bring it back. Hook. And then come back with the cross again. This is a rare combination. We're starting with the cross. Cross, hook, then another cross.
ฮุก
If your opponent's looking for the jab, this will fool him. There's no jab
ขวา
here.
อีกครั้งนะครับขวาฮุกขวาโอเคหนึ่งสองขวาปึ๊บ
This is a good way to set up a punch with a double
หนึ่
jab.
งปึ๊บฮุกเดี๋ยวนะครับช้ายัดสองครั้ง
Jab,
หนึ่ง
jab,
สอง
cross,
แล้วก็
and then the hook.
นะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่งหนึ่ง
Jab,
สอง
jab, cross, and then the hook.
เร็วๆนะครับหนึ่งฮัดฮัดหนึ่งฮัดฮัดฮัดฮัด
Try to break up your rhythm. Don't do it the same way each time. Now jab right to the body, low, and then the hook.
ยับฮัดฮุกอันนี้ยัดหน้าเขาแล้วก็หลอก
When you do this, he might drop his guard to cover for the body shot and then leave the head open. Jab, then go low, downstairs, then to the head.
ที่หน้าฮัดฮัดฮัดบุกบุกฮัด
Don't always aim for the head. It makes it easier for your opponent to protect themselves.
อันนะครับฮุกต่อยลำตัวกลับขึ้นมาฮุกที่หน้า
Bring it back.
ครับฮุกฮึบโอเคแรกเราเข้าไปหาเขาฮุกปั๊บ
Left hook to the body, cross, then the
ฮุก
hook.
ลำตัวก่อนนะครับเข้าไปฮุกฮึบต่อยปั๊บฮุกโอเคฮึบขาหนึ่งฮึบฮึบฮึบฮุกซ้ายที่ลำตัวป๊อปต่อยขวาที่หน้าฮุกซ้ายที่หน้าเดี๋ยวนะครับฮึบฮึบฮึบ
I use my body in all the punches.
นะครับต่อไปนี่ก็คือคอมบิเนชั่นต่อไปก็คือ
Here's the lean back technique again. Then we'll come in with the uppercut and then a cross.
แล้วขวาตรงดูนะครับอีกครั้งนะ
Lean out, uppercut, then the cross.
เขาต่อยขวาเรามาปั้ง
As the opponent comes in, as you lean out, then catch him coming in with the uppercut and then finish him with the
นะ
cross.
ครับดูนะก้าวอัปเปอร์คัตต่อยข
The
วา
power at the end.
ก้าว
Set him up with the uppercut and then finish him.
ช้าๆกับอัปเปอร์คัตต่อยขวาออกไปนะครับตอนนี้คืออันหนึ่งให้เร็วๆนะครับดูให้เร็วๆนะฮึบ
You've got to come right back after you lean.
โอเคครับโอเคนะครับ
This is a different punch, the overcross, but not that different. Just come over his hand.
โค้งออกไปแล้วก็เล็บ
As you lean back, he might come in with a punch, and you're going to punch over that punch.
ขวา
That's why you lean out of the way, and then come with the uppercut.
ดูนะครับแล้วก็ต่อยขวา
Punch
โค้ง
over
ออกไปกลับมาปั๊บ
Pull it back, and then finish him.
ดูนะครับฮึบฮึบฮึบโอเค
Jab, hook,
Okay,
cross.
jab.
You can see I'm getting sweaty here. These aren't easy to do.
ดูนะครับพอเรานี้เราหลอกเข้ามาแล้วแยบแล้วก็ฮุกเลยแล้วก็ต่อยขวาอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Jab, left hook, then the cross.
แยบฮุกต่อยอีกครั้ง
Two punches from the left side, then the right. Now remember, this is just a sample of the many combinations that are possible to perform once you master all of the basic
สำ
punches.
หรับคอมบิเนชันนะครับโอเคนะครับต่อไปนี้ผมจะโชว์สำหรับ
Now it's time to talk about the elbows.
มวยไทยของเรานั้นมี
In
อาวุ
Muay
ธ
Thai,
ที่
this is our most
น่ากลัว
dangerous weapon.
และ
The elbows are very effective when you're in close.
เรื่องศอก
You can also use them in conjunction with the knees.
ผมจะโชว์ศอกก่อน
Knee
ศอกนี้
and elbow
จะใช้
combinations
มาก
are very effective both in the ring
เมื่อเขามาหาเรา
or in a self-defense
ใกล้กับตัว
situation.
เราดีมากๆสำหรับ
With my female students, I really try to get them to work hard on the elbow techniques because you don't need arm strength to use the elbow. You use the body, just like the punches. Now we throw the elbow from the same position that we throw punches from. Hands up, protecting the head. The first elbow we're going to throw is a straight
ศอก
elbow.
ขวาให้หมุนจากด้านขวามานะฮะ
Just like that.
ไปช้าๆนะครับช้าๆ
Bring the hand across in front of the face.
หมุนศอก
Arm
ตรง
parallel to the ground. Use the tip of the elbow.
ตรงนี้จะเป็นกระดูกนะ
That's what you want to make contact with. Don't fold the wrist over. Keep it straight.
ธรรมดาบอกให้ตรงอย่าไป
Nice and strong.
ปล่อยให้รีแลกซ์นะครับดูนะครับช้าๆ
Turn the body into it just like the punch. Power comes from the ball of the foot, open the ankle, turn into it.
นะครับครั้งหนึ่งนะ
This is from your power side, so this is going to be the more powerful of your
นะ
elbows.
ครับดูนะช้าๆ
Keep your chin down
ขวา
and tight.
ซ้ายเก็บเอาไว้เก็บคางจับ
Don't open your face up like this.
นะครับหรืออย่าสอกอย่างนี้
Leaves you open for
งั้นพยายาม
attack.
สอกนั้นทิ้ง
Come
หัวไหล่
across,
ออกไป
use the tip.
ครับทิ้งหัวไหล่ถ้าทิ้งลำตัวออกไปปั๊บดูนะครับช้าๆ
Now with this straight elbow, you're aiming for the jaw, maybe the neck or the side of the head. You're in tight, and that's your target.
อีกทีนะครับศอกขึ้น
Be on the ball of the foot and turn.
อันนี้
Pivot.
ดูนะ
Turn into it.
นี่คือศอกตรงอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
And move. Just like the punches. Don't stand still and do it. Now the next elbow we're going to do is the overhead
เขาเรียกว่าศอก overhead
elbow. And the target for this is the forehead.
หัวลงมา
You would
ถ้าเขาบล็อก
attempt this elbow to go over your opponent's hands. If he has his guard up, but not up high enough to protect his forehead, you come up and over and
ศอก
down.
overhead elbow นะครับขาหนึ่งยืนตัวขึ้น
Up, raise yourself, and come down. Get on almost on your toes. A little higher than the balls of your feet. Open the ankle up a lot.
ขานะครับมุก
And come down. Use your power coming
ยืน
down.
ตัวขึ้นกอด
You have to have a flexible shoulder to do this. Nice and loose. Come right across the forehead. If you do it hard enough, you'll cut them.
หมังข้าง
Just like that. Bring it down hard.
จะแตกต่างจากศอกตรงนิดนึงนะฮะนิดนึงดูนะศอกตรงนี่จะตัดระหว่างคางตรงนี้
The straight elbow is for a cross. Straight across.
ศอก overhead
And this comes over the top.
ถ้าบล็อกอย่างนี้
Depending on his guard, you use different
เอา
ones.
ศอกตามหัวกด
You've got to see what your opponent's doing and then respond to it. The next elbow we're going to show you is the front elbow.
ศอกหน้า
Front elbow comes straight
ศอก
up
หน้าคือยกศอกขึ้นไปตรงๆศอกไปตรงๆ
from either side.
ดีมากสำหรับป้องกันตัวเองเขามาหาเรานะฮะเราอยู่อย่างนี้ศอกปึ๊บ
You can also use it if someone approaches you for self-defense. Turn your hip into it. As they come to you, you just meet them.
ปึ๊บ
Turn the hip.
ตรงนี้ที่ตรงนั้นแหลม
Use this part of the elbow, the very point.
นะครับให้โดนเขาให้ได้อย่าเอาตรงนี้โดน
Don't use the outside or the inside of the elbow. You're going to hurt yourself. That's where the joint meets. Use the bone.
ถ้ามือซ้ายจะ
The front elbow is a lot like the uppercut. Same body motion. Bring the hip in and turn. Hip in and turn. Just like the uppercut, only you're striking with the elbow instead of the fist.
หน้านะครับ
Now our next elbow is a jerking elbow. It's very similar to the hook punch, only instead of hitting with your hand, you're going to be hitting with the elbow. Jerking elbow.
นะครับดูนะ
Step in and turn. Pivot on the foot, just like a hook punch. Step in, pivot, turn.
ดูนะครับนี่เรียกว่า jerking elbow
The difference between these elbows and the punches is that you would be closer to the opponent, or you would be bridging the gap, becoming closer to them.
9
And it's better to use an elbow, it's more powerful.
9
Step in and turn, just like the
ไป
hook.
นิดนึงนะฮะศอกขึ้นมา 4-5 องศาฮึบ
You can come up at an angle
ดูนะฮึบ
or go straight across.
ฮึบฮึบอีกข้างอีกข้างหนึ่ง
Remember, when we talked about the hook punch, we said you can follow through with the elbow
9
also.
อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะ
Sometimes you won't follow through, you'll just use the elbow.
Turn 9
Turn, pivot and turn. Use the body.
Turn นะครับนี่คือสลับศอก
Finally, we have the swing back elbow.
ศอกต่อไป
This is a hard one to do. Watch me closely.
หลัง
You're going to turn around
นี่คือเราตี
and
ด้าน
use your elbow. Swing your arm around like this. You've got to be loose and relaxed. This is the motion,
back elbow
but you still want to use the point of your elbow to make contact.
เราทีนี้เราสอบด้วยตรงนี้
Use that point.
ปั๊บ
Twist and then come back to your guard.
ปั๊บ
Twist and come back to your guard.
นะอีกครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆวับ
You're going to step in, pivot on your feet, twist, and then come back to your guard right away.
สอบหลังขวามือซ้ายต้องเก็บให้แน่นเก็บคางเอาไว้
Keep your guard up before you do it.
ก้าวปึ๊บเข้ามานะครับดูครั้งหนึ่งปึ๊บ
Pivot your feet and twist towards your target.
ง่ายๆคือปึ๊บปึ๊บ
Make sure you hit with the point of the elbow.
ปึ๊บปึ๊บ
Swing back elbow is good to use in combination with the jab, just like
กลั
that.
บที่เดิม back elbow
We've now covered
นะคือศอกกลับ
all of the basic elbows that there are in Muay
นี่
Thai.
เรามีที่มาแล้ว
Just like your punches,
ศอกตรง
you want to turn. That's the straight elbow. Get on the ball of the foot, turn. Use your body.
อันนี้ศอก overhead
Keep your guard up while you do it.
ขวายกตัวขึ้นนิดนึง
The overhead elbow, raise your body, come down. Aim for the forehead.
กดลงมาอันนี้คือศอก overhead elbow นะครับอันที่3คือศอกหน้า
The front
ศอ
elbow,
กหน้าคือ1
come straight up, just like an uppercut. Bring your hips in.
หน้า
Bring your power
ห
in.
น้าฮิตตกหน้าศอกอยู่ข้างหน้า
Use the tip of the elbow to strike with.
ปั๊บอันที่4คือเขาเจอ kick elbow ศอกโดยศอกที่เรามือที่อยู่ข้างหน้านี่เองนะครับดูครั้งหนึ่งช้า
Then the jerking elbow, it's like a hook. Step in and turn and pivot on that foot.
ๆ
Step in,
มือขวาจะตก
pivot and turn.
ครับ
Right through.
ข้างนี้ก้าวหมุน
Right through.
ดูนะฮะ 9หมุนลำตัว
just like a hook punch.
9หมุนลำตัวศอกที่5ต่อไปก็คือ
And the swing
ศอก
back,
กลับนะครับแยบ
point your toes at your target, set it up with the jab, and turn around.
ครับแยบก่อน
Jab,
ก้าว
turn.
ไปน้ำหนักจากศอกนั้นก็คือ
Use the point of the elbow.
ลำตัวเรา
You have to be flexible in the lower back.
ทำแบบ
It's the hardest of them all, perhaps.
หมุนทำแบบ
Now, each of these different elbow techniques has a different
ทั้ง
application.
หมดมี5ศอกมีศอก
Different situations you'll use it. Straight across,
ศอกสูง
up to down,
แล้วก็ศอกด้านหน้า
down to up,
แล้วก็ศอกด้านหน้า
diagonally,
แล้วก็ศอกกลับ
or spinning
ศอก
around.
นี้ดีสำหรับ
In each case,
self defense
just like your punches, your power comes from your body.
หาเราใกล้ที่สุดที่จะใกล้ได้
Make sure you use your body properly. Make sure you use the elbow properly too. Use the point. Don't use the inside of the joint or the outside of the joint. That's a very good way to hurt yourself. You've got to use the bone. That's your weapon. We're now going to move on to some combinations that I'll demonstrate with focus gloves.
เราจะโชว์ในเทปที่3กับ4ต่อไปนะครับโอเคนะครับในเทป2นี้
This is just a sample of the combinations that are available to you once you have worked with the hand techniques and elbow techniques. Remember, it's just a sample. Once you learn the techniques, you should invent your own combinations.
ตอนนี้ผมจะโชว์
Once again, let's go over the proper way to use the pads. You want to meet the punches or the elbows. Don't let them hit you. Don't be tight.
เวลาเขายับมากดลงไป
Meet them.
เขายับมากดลงไป
Meet them. Opposite sides. Don't be tight.
ถ้าทำอย่างนี้แล้วเนี่ยนักมวยจะชกไม่ได้เลยนะฮะ
And you want the punches to come from the opposite side.
ยับมากดลงไปเขาต่อยมากดยับกด
Meet the punches. Meet the elbows.
ทามมิ่งนะฮะออกเข้ากันเพราะคุณจะได้ฝึกตื่นตัวไปด้วยนะครับอีกครั้ง
Now it's even more important for the elbows to be on the opposite side.
หรือถ้าเขาศอกมาถ้าเขาศอก
If you don't meet them properly.
อย่าเอามือซ้ายไปรับ
Because if he goes through the pad and skips off, he'll hit you. That's why you want to do it from the opposite side. That way if he skips off, it'll go past you. So it's very important you use the pads properly. Walter's going to work with me now and show you some combinations on the pads. First thing he'll be showing you is 1-2 hook. 1-2. 1-2 hook. 1-2 hook. Jab cross hook. Jab cross hook. I want him to turn a little more in that hook, like that.
Hook straight hand. Okay, move this side. Okay.
Now that's a 1-2 hook cross. 1-2 hook cross.
Now, jab straight, uppercut left.
Now we're going to add the uppercut. 1-2 uppercut.
Bang, bang, uppercut. Hook right again. Okay. Slow, up, hook, up, okay.
1-2 uppercut hook.
1, 2.
1-2 uppercut. Here's the hook.
Okay.
Now he's going to speed it up.
Okay นะครับ ต่อไปนี้คือเย็บศอกขวาตรง
Now we're going to add the elbow.
เย็บ straight elbow นะครับ โอเค slow นะครับ slow เย็บ
Jab.
straight elbow อ่าฮะ
Right elbow.
โอเค
This is the straight elbow. Jab, straight right elbow. So he steps in on the jab, bridges the distance.
เย็บกดลงไปเย็บกดลงไปครั้งหนึ่งอ่าฮะ
Brings his hands right back up afterwards.
ดูนะครับ เวลาเขาศอกขวา มือซ้ายเขาจะป้องกันหน้าตลอดเวลา
Make sure you keep the hand up when you elbow.
ดูอีกมุมนี้นะครับ
Always cover. Protect yourself. It's better to take a punch or an elbow in the hand than it is in the head. That's why you bring the hand to cover the head. This is a straight elbow up. Jab, straight elbow. Jab, straight elbow.
เวลาศอกตรงตอกกดลงไปฮึบฮึบฮึบอ่าฮะทีนี้ศอก overhead
Now we're going to do the overhead elbow. Jab, overhead.
ศอก overhead อย่างนี้นะครับปั๊บโค้งกดลงมา
Gets up on his toes and comes down with his body weight.
ยืดตัวขึ้นครั้งนะครับ
Jab, comes down. Jab, come down.
ครั้ง
This is a very powerful elbow. Whips up and then
อ้าว
down.
เปลี่ยน
You can go right over your opponent's defense.
Come back to elbow straight and overhead yep straight up overhead อ่าฮะ
It's a double elbow. Jab, straight, and then overhead.
โอ้
Jab, straight, overhead. You can break down the defense with the straight elbow and then come over it.
Good. And move. Move. Move.
Got to be in close to use the elbows.
Set
it up with the jab. And after you jab, bring the hand right back to cover.
เวลาเขากาดคือเขาจะมือขึ้นสูงกว่าเวลาถ้าเราศอกก็มือตก
Make sure you use the right part of the elbow.
หาเรา
And make sure you have the hand up.
ศอกแยบปั๊บ
Bring the hand back and then elbow.
มือไม่ต้องขึ้น
Whether it's a straight or an overhead
ส
elbow.
อง overhead elbow อันที่สามก็คือ
Alright, now we're going to move on to 1-2 jerking elbow.
left elbow okay 1-2 left elbow
Watch Walter. 1-2 jerking elbow.
นะครับ
1-2 jerking elbow.
slow ปัง
Jab, cross, then the elbow. See how he pivots out? 1-2 elbow.
slow hang on
Whenever learning new combinations like this, it's a good idea to always start slowly, learn it properly, and then build up speed gradually. Then add the power.
หาครับหมุนเอ็น
Pivot on that elbow.
Okay.
Pivot.
Fast.
Now Walter's going a little faster. He's adding the power.
Okay. Front elbow.
Alright, once you've worked with all the elbow techniques, you'll find that in different situations you can use different elbows. For instance, the front elbow is very useful if you can't use the straight or the overhead. You should be able to come up underneath. Make sure you use your hips though in all the elbows. Come through with your power. Now when working with a partner or a student, once they've practiced all the elbows, a good way to see how well they've mastered them is for you to hold the pads and to say to them, let me see the front elbow. Let me see the swing back. See if they can do what you want them to do.
Overhead. Straight. Up. Overhead. Okay. Okay. Straight. Up. Overhead. Straight. Up.
That's what I'm doing with Walter here. He's not doing the elbow he wants to do. I'm commanding him. I'm giving him the instruction of which elbow to throw each time.
Okay.
And he's doing a pretty good job of doing what I ask.
Okay.
But you can only do this after you've learned all the techniques and really had some time to work with them.
Swing back. Swing back. And up. And up. Swing back. Move. Move. Swing back. Swing back. Okay.
Welcome to tip 3. We're going to start with front push kicks. This is the straight push kick. There's 2 variations. In both instances, you'll make contact with the ball of the foot. The planted leg, you want to lock the knee straight. In one variation, you're flat-footed, and that's when you're not moving. And the other variation, your heel is up in the air, you're on the ball of the foot, and that's when you're moving. It's more of an offensive move. That's a planted one there, and that's a moved one. Make sure the leg that you're kicking with is loose. Now this kick can be performed with either the front leg, the lead leg, or the rear leg. I'm demonstrating it here on the belly protector. When you work out with a partner, you can also do it lightly without the belly protector. Get my hip into it. This is another type of straight kick, the tip-toes kick. Be careful not to hurt your toes on the belly protector. This is used straight into the stomach. It's good for the solar plexus. Can knock the wind out of somebody. It's similar to a finger jab. Toes go straight in. The planted leg does the same thing as in the other push kick. See how the toes go straight in? Not the ball of the foot. Straight up and in. You can drop the hand on the side while you kick, or sometimes we keep both hands up to protect. This is a side push kick. It's different from other martial arts styles. We don't turn the foot 90 degrees, only 45 degrees, both the planted foot and the striking foot. Both are at 45 degrees when impact occurs. Now it's alright to drop your arm while you kick to keep your balance, because by extending your leg, your opponent can't attack from that side. But keep the other arm up to make sure he doesn't kick you in the head from that side or punch you. Study these tapes carefully, watch them a few times to see all of the things I'm talking about. This is a slap push. It's good to irritate your opponent. It's like slapping him in the face. Like that. It's good to set up other kicks. Now I'm with a left lead here, but shortly you'll see me switch. You're going to be able to switch your leads, and that's something that you'll acquire later on. But you don't want to have to always bring your leg back to where it started. You're going to be able to switch your leads. Here's the heel push. Very strong kick because you're making contact with the heel. You can see that my student here is fairly large, and I'm still able to move him with my heel kick. You have to be quite flexible, especially in the hamstring, to be able to utilize this kick. It's a very strong kick. Make sure you keep the kicking leg loose. Don't be tight. Make sure the knee's loose. Remember, before doing any of these kicks, you want to do the stretches from tape 1. Now here's a combination of all the kicks I've just shown you. Just like the punches, you've got to really work on each of the individual kicks prior to trying to use them in combinations. Now notice how I don't run before I do any of the kicks. It comes right from where I'm standing. I might switch my lead, but that's it. And if you miss, don't lose your balance. That's an easy time to do so. Anticipate that you might not make contact. Keep your balance at all times. In the Muay Thai round kick, you've got to turn your body. You've got to pivot on the balls of your feet. That's where your power and speed is going to come from. Pivot and twist. Pivot and twist. That's how you launch your leg up, and that's how you're going to turn your body. Get your momentum going. Overcome the inertia. Pivot and twist. Now, there's many different types of round kicks, but they all have this in common. Let's watch the students. Now I'm going to correct Nick. I want him to twist a little more on that front foot. Turn the hips more also. There's other types of round kicks we'll get to later, but they all start with this basic element. Pivot and twist. You've really got to get this down before you can go any farther. Got to twist your body into the kick. All the power comes from the body. Turn the hip. Now we're going to break the kick down a little bit. I'm going to show you just the first part of it. We're not going to go all the way through. Just going to come around part way. Going to get up on the ball of the foot and turn. Just halfway. Once you get the pivot and twist down so you can launch yourself, this is the next step. Get the leg up and come around. Don't try to extend the knee, just bring the hip around. Just like this. Step in and launch it. Get on the ball of this foot and pivot. Pivot. Bring that leg around. Let's watch the students once again. Turn. Turn. Now, if you watch carefully,
นะครับ
you'll see that Walter,
วอเตอร์เขาจะ
he has his leg locked, his knee locked straighter than Nick's. And that's what you want to do. It takes some time to develop this, but that's the proper technique. Nick is bending his planted leg more than I'd like.
Okay, go ahead, one more time. Up. Up.
It's like doing it in slow motion. Then later you want to add the power, add the speed, and your momentum will carry you around.
Good. Up. เห็นไหมครับเวลาเราเตะ
Now we're going to move on to kicking with the other leg. If you're right-handed, it's harder to develop your left leg kick.
เท้าซ้ายเท้าขวา
And you do this after you switch leads.
เท้าซ้ายนะฮะเท้าซ้ายฮึบ
Everything's the same though, it's reversed. But you've got to work on both from the very beginning if you want to be able to develop both kicks. Keep the planted leg straight, lock that knee out as you come up. Turn the hips and shoulders. Watch the students. I think you'll notice that neither of them are as strong with their left kick as they are with their right. And this is a natural occurrence. But with either leg, when you launch that back leg, you want to bring the shin bone up at a 45-degree angle. Not straight up, but at 45 degrees.
ต้นชูเดอร์ป้อนยูชูเดอร์ฮึบเห็นไหมครับเวลาเตะ
And then you're going to turn it over at the hip.
ซ้ายต้องยืนด้วยปลายเท้า
Power comes from the back leg, no matter which leg's in the back. Launch yourself up.
ฮึบถ้าเตะเท้าขวาต้องยืนด้วยปลายเท้าซ้ายฮึบ
Got to turn that hip over.
นะครับฮึบอันหนึ่งฮึบ
Be on that toe of that planted foot.
ฮึบฉะนั้น
Remember, your power comes from your hips, your body.
เราจะออก
Now when you make contact, it's with the shin bone, right at the edge of it, like a knife blade.
ฝ่ายฉะนั้นเวลาเตะของมวยไทย
That's what you want to kick with. That's what's going to do the most damage.
นั้นถึงมีการว่ามวยไทยเตะ
Now at first, it doesn't feel good to kick with the bone. You've got to condition the shin bone, and we do that by kicking the bag.
ผมจะกลับมาเรื่องเตะอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะ
In Muay Thai,
ร่างกาย
we divide the body into 3 target areas. There are 3 areas you aim your kicks. From below the waist to the legs,
ว่าส่วนขาส่วนที่สองคือ
then from the waist up to below the neck,
เราเรียกว่าส่วนลำ
and then from the neck up to the head.
ไปเรียกว่าส่วนคอ
These are the 3 zones that we divide the body into.
จะแบ่งออกเป็น3ส่วนของบุคคล
Now for each of these zones, the legs, the body, and from the neck up, there are different kicks that we use.
ขาจะแบ่งออกเป็นเตะใน
For the legs, you can kick inside the leg,
คิกแล้วเตะ
outside the leg.
ใส่คิกแล้วก็เตะ
We also kick both legs, or the cross leg kick.
ขานั้นเราจะโชว์ให้ดูส่วนเตะลำตัว
And we kick to the body. There's different targets in the body that we also kick to.
พวกนั้นเราจะอธิบาย
Sometimes to the ribs,
แล้วก็
higher or lower,
การคอนี้
and then of course above the shoulders to the neck and head.
ผมเคย
Now there's a misconception about Muay Thai that many people have, and that is that there's only 1 or 2 kicks. But in actuality, there are many, many more. They're just slight variations of the basic kick.
ฉะนั้นผมจะโชว์
And you've got to learn that first before you can learn the variations.
การเตะลำตัว
I'm now going to start to show you just some of the variations that are possible from the basic kick.
ครับดูเริ่มต้นเตะด้านนอก
First we'll do the outside kick. This is outside to the leg. This is your target area right here, the muscle along the outside.
ก้าวออกไปนะฮะแขน
You're going to step in,
ก้าวไปปั๊บแล้วเหวี่ยงขา
whip your leg, and turn your hip over.
ครับเตะนอกอีกครั้ง
Do it again.
ก้าวเตะ
When using this kick, you want to stay low, so bend the planted leg's knee a little. This will also help you to turn and will keep you farther away from your opponent.
เพราะว่า
Think of it as sitting down a little and then turning over.
คนคู่ต่อสู้เราอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะเตะ
See how I twist my foot?
ขวาเตะซ้าย
My body will follow.
เร็วๆนะครับเตะให้เร็ว
Twist and everything follows.
ๆนี่คือเตะขานะครับเตะด้านนอกนี่คือเตะด้านนอก
Same on the other side.
ครับการบิดเท้าของมวยไทยเวลาเตะขาเราจะไม่ขาถึงจะเบน
Got to bend that knee and twist in.
บิ่งออกไปบิ่งออกไป
Allows you to sit down.
เท้าซ้ายขวา
Same on this side.
ขวาเบี่ยง
Twist and turn.
เบี่ยงครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆนะฮะช้า
It's like a soccer style kick in some respects.
ๆนะฮะฮึบฮึบโอเคครับเมื่อกี้ผมบอกไว้ว่า
Alright, now I'm going to show you this kick, the same kick, with a partner.
ว่าจะดูที่ว่าเราเตะขาเนี่ยเตะด้านนอกแล้ว
kicking to the outside of the leg. Your target is from below the hip
พยายามโชว์ให้เห็นว่า
to above the ankle.
การเตะขาของ
Now, when working out with a partner like this, you're never going to do it full power. This is to practice the mechanics of the kick and to get the movements down. Then later, you're going to work with the pads and try to get the power going and the speed going. But this drill is just to work on the mechanics and to work on judging the distance between you and an opponent. How close he is, how close you want to be. Remember, don't kick your partner hard. Now let's watch Walter. We'll take turns kicking each other. Step in, turn and kick.
เห็นไหมการเตะเท้าเตะปัดนะฮะเตะด้านนอกด้านนี้เวลาก้าวเข้าไปก้าวปั๊บเบนขาปั๊บ
You can see that when I step in,
ยิงเท้านิดนึง
I'm twisting, bending my knee slightly and turning my hip in.
สโลว์นะช้าๆนะครับช้า
Watch again.
ๆเตะด้วยข้อเท้าเราฮะเตะ
Now I'm using the ankle. This allows me to stay farther away. You want to do this against an opponent who has a long reach.
ว่าเขาเตะขายังไงฮึบฮึบ
Now I catch Walter's leg and I check to make sure he's in proper position. Again, I want to make sure everything's where it should be.
ซ้ายฮึบ
He's pivoting his foot, he's turning the hip over.
เดี๋ยวนะซ้ายคิกฮึบเมื่อกี้ผมโชว์
The next kick I want to show you is the inside kick. Like the outside kick,
ก็ด้านใน
the target is from the ankle up to the thigh on either leg,
ส่วนล่างหรือส่วนข้อต่อถ้า
including the
เตะ
knee.
ข้อต่อได้ของมวยไทย
Now you'll cause the most damage if you kick the knee.
ถ้าเราเตะเขาได้เขาจะเดินไม่ได้เลยนะข้อต่อเนี่ยข้อต่อของเรา
If you kick it hard enough,
จะมีข้อต่อ
you could cause the joint to separate.
ฉะนั้นเวลาเตะปั๊บตรงเนี้ยอาจจะ
So if you really want to cause some damage, kick the knee joint.
เตะด้านในนี่ต้องมีเทคนิค
When using the inside kick, you'll usually kick your opponent's front leg because that's the leg that's closest to you. Let's start with the footwork first. You're going to slide your back leg up to just behind the front leg, then step over and twist both. Pivot on both feet. Again,
ยืนอยู่ก้าว
slide the leg up, step over, pivot and twist. You're putting yourself in position so that you can kick your opponent's inside leg with your front leg, your lead leg.
ขึ้นเร็วๆนะฮะเร็วๆครับเบี่ยง
Now just like the outside kick,
นะครับ
we're going to pivot on our planted foot and bend the knee.
ขาหนึ่งเบี่ยงแล้วเท้าที่เราเตะเนี่ยเตะขาทุกครั้งเบี่ยง
Pivot
เท้าออกไป
and bend the knee.
เบี่ยงตรงนี้ออกไปเบี่ยง
That allows you to turn your hip over. Now what this kick allows you to do is to stay out of your opponent's reach. You're moving out and away from him and coming in from a different angle. Let's see how it works. Let's apply it here to Walter.
ด้านนี้คือด้านในเนี่ยครับคือส่วนนี้คือด้านในเราจะเตะส่วนนี้
Again, your target area is from the ankle to the thigh. When you're working with a partner, you don't want to kick him in the knee. This is just to practice it once again.
หนีออกมา
Watch out for the right hand. That's why we move out.
ทำให้ดูนะ move hand up
Watch how I do it to Walter.
ถ้าเรากล้าเข้าไปเตะอย่างนี้เขาจะต่อยหน้าทันที
See, if I come right in, straight in,
ต่อยหน้าเรา
I'm very vulnerable to being countered.
เราจะหนีออกจากหมัดขวาที่เขาต่อย you can punch my face
Instead, I move out and away and I lean my body out also at the same time.
move นะฮะ move ออกไปฮับฮับโอเคนะครับให้วอเตอร์เตะนะครับเตะ inside kick
Watch how the footwork works in action.
ฮับ
Now, when Walter does it, I catch him and check him.
ฮับmove move ฮับturn your hip more ฮับ more
I want him to turn his knee more. That's it.
ฮะ
See how he leans out also? It's very hard for me to punch him when he leans out like that. The footwork involved in this technique is more complicated than some of the other kicks. Even an experienced student like Walter will sometimes have trouble doing it. It takes some time to learn. Watch closely. The next variation on the round kick that I'd like to show you is the cross kick. Once again, your target is the leg, from above the ankle to below the waist. This kick is different though. Your leg is going to go up and down.
เท้าจะขึ้นมาอย่างนี้
Bring it up like a regular kick, but then turn your hip over and strike down before you make impact.
ดูช้าๆดูจากมือผมนะฮะดูจากมือผมนะ
Bring it up at a 45 degree, then turn the hip over and bring the leg down.
อีกครั้งหนึ่ง
This can confuse your opponent. He may think you're trying to kick him in the body.
กดด้วยหลังแข้งตรงนี้นะฮะหลังแข้ง
You're going to use the instep.
ซ็อกเกอร์ลักษณะเหมือนกับ
Come down.
ซ็อกเกอร์นะฮะก้าวพับดูง่ายๆนะฮะ
Watch.
เวลาชกแล้วกาดมวยขึ้นอย่างนี้กาดมวยแล้วก้าวไปข้างหน้านิด
I step in.
เหวี่ยงลำตัวเหวี่ยงสะโพกเรา
Bring the hips forward and over.
เหวี่ยงกดข้อเท้าลงไปดูนะครับ
A lot of power in this kick. I whip my leg around.
เหมือนกันนะคนที่ถนัดซ้าย
Now from the other side. Same thing.
นะฮะก้าว
Like the other round kicks, I'm pivoting on the ball of my foot, and I want to bend my planted leg's knee slightly.
เท้าขวาจะขึ้น
I bring the kicking leg up at a 45 degree, and then I turn it over.
แล้วก้าวพับโอ้
It's a little clearer, I think, if I slow it down. Watch again.
เร็วๆนะครับก้าวพับก้าวพับ
Well, that's what you should do also. Slow it down and then speed it up. Try to get the motions down first, and then gradually add speed and power. And if you kick someone in the thigh with this kick, it'll hurt. Now watch while I work with Walter. See how I come down on his thigh? Now, like the other variations of the round kicks, you want to do it softly with a partner. Although with this particular kick, it can still hurt quite a bit.
โชคพลิกมาเล็กฮึบอ่าฮะเห็นไหมครับเท้าจะขึ้นมาแล้ว
Once again, I hold Walter and check him. I want him to turn it over more.
ฮึบอ่าฮะ
Now Walter's using the shin here.
คว่ำแข้งลงมาฮึบ
He's coming down and turning it over. If you want to keep more distance, you can use the instep or the ankle.
ฮึบฮึบดูง่ายๆครับนะครับไม่ได้เตะเขานะฮึบฮึบ
Turn that hip over and drive the knee through.
เห็นไหมครับเวลาเตะเท้าขึ้นคว่ำ
Up at a steep angle and turn it
ขึ้
over.
นปัดลงโอเคครับ
The next variation on the round kick that I'd like to show you
เตะ
is the both leg
เตะ
kick.
ครั้งเดียวเตะทั้งสอง
The target here is the thighs of both legs.
ไม่ได้สอง
It's like the cross kick, only you're going to kick both thighs of your opponent simultaneously. If you do it properly, you can knock him down by kicking both legs out from underneath him.
ของเขาพร้อมกันโดยที่เตะรวบทั้งสองเท้า
Both legs at the same time, and he'll fall right into you.
นะฮะอย่างสมมุติเขา
Now, if your opponent has a right lead, you're going to want to kick with your left leg,
ต้องเตะซ้ายก้าวเข้าไปเตะรวบทั้งสอง
like that.
หรือถ้าเข้ามวยซ้าย
And if he has a left lead,
ผมจะเตะรวบ
you're going to want to reverse it, to kick both legs at the same time.
กับครอสคิกอยู่นะฮะก้าวเข้าไปปั๊บเหมือนกันเลยนะฮะปั๊บอีกครั้งหนึ่งเตะ
Step in deep and twist.
ปั๊บอยู่นะปั๊บปั๊บโอเคครับนี่สำหรับครอสคิก
Once again, it'll be clearer for you when I show you how to do it with a partner. Now, this can be thought as a cross kick with a different target also. Watch. I'm going to kick him in both legs. Now, Walter has a left lead, so I want to kick him with my left leg. Just like that. Bang. It's very similar to the cross kick. Watch it from this angle.
เขาจะเตะเขามือซ้ายเขาเตะขวาเห็นไหมเห็นไหมเขาเตะเท้าเตะปึ๊บ
Walter steps in and kicks both my legs. He keeps his body out and leans out also, and I could fall right into him if he kicks me hard enough. Bang. I'm going to catch his leg again, make sure everything's in the right spot. Now you want to step out at a 45-degree angle before you kick. Step out like this. Again, out at a 45-degree angle, approximately. Move your body out. Don't come in, you'll get punched by either hand. Once again, step out and kick. Now, all of these kicks to the leg have a similar purpose. If you kick your opponent often enough in the leg, they'll get sore and he won't be able to move, at which point you will have a great advantage. We're now ready to move on to the step-in kick. As I said before, in Muay Thai, we divide the target area into the leg area, above the legs to the shoulders, and then above the neck. The step-in kick is the first kick that we're going to use that goes above the legs. You strike between the hips and the shoulders generally. Now, as the name implies, we're going to step in with this kick. You want to aim for the ribs. If your opponent starts to block with his arms, you'll kick his arm a lot and his arm will get tired and he won't be able to punch. So it's just as effective if you kick the arm as it is the ribs. Now when we step in, we're going to bridge the distance between ourselves and our opponent. It's a good way to get close and then attack. When you step in, make sure you keep your hands up and don't drop your guard. Step in, transferring the power off the back of the foot. Once again, we're going to bend our knee a little and come forward. Let your momentum carry you forward. And then kick. When you come in, bring your shoulders in. Bring your upper torso in. Lean in. That'll help your momentum bring your body in. Don't lean back and kick like that. You'll lose your balance and lose your power. Step in and kick. Always keep your guard hand up, the opposite side that you kick. You don't want to get kicked or punched while you're kicking. Your opponent's going to try to counter. Always keep it up. Same thing on the other side. Just like this. If you're going to kick on the other side, keep the other hand up. Left kick, right hand stays up. Again, transfer your power from the back leg. Open the ankle up, get on the ball of the foot, then kick. Pivot on that foot. Watch my planted foot. Same thing on this leg. On the ball of the foot, open the ankle, bend the knee slightly, and then extend. When we extend, we're going to lock the knee. Unlike the other kicks I showed you prior, you want to have the knee locked and be on the ball of the foot. Bring the shin up at a 45-degree angle and then turn it over. Up and over at 45 degrees. Not a roundhouse kick. Don't swing it out like a bat. Bring it up at 45 and then turn it over. That's quicker and you'll have more power. Now, to practice the step-in kick, it's very important that you do what I did in the previous segment. You want to do it on your own without hitting a target. That'll help you develop your balance and coordination. You want to make sure that you stand on the ball of the foot, bend the knee slightly when you launch, then extend the knee, lock it, turn the shoulders, turn the hips, work on all of the elements without hitting a target. This will enable you to perfect your kick so that when you work with a partner and when you kick the bag, you'll be able to kick through the bag. Step in and launch yourself. Bend that knee slightly and then lock it. Turn the hip. Turn the shoulder. You need your whole body to come around and pivot on that planted foot so that all your power will come through. It's very important that you do this correctly. Now watch how I work out with my partner, my student Walter. My knees locked as I make impact. I'm on the ball of my foot. This is the way that you check to make sure you're in the right position at impact. You have your partner hold your other leg. See how the knee's locked? I'm on the ball of the foot. Got to turn the hip over. Now look at Walter. He should be on the ball of his foot, and the knee should be locked, and turn the hip more. The hand's by the face like it's supposed to be. He's dropping the other arm down. Again, it's hard to maintain that position in a static situation. It's easier when you're doing it dynamically, but by doing this, you're going to develop your balance and program your muscles to be in the right position. The next kick that I want to show you is a semi-knee kick. It's similar in some respects to the step-in kick in that you're going to step in and bring your body weight, your momentum, transferring your power in. But instead of extending the leg out, you're going to kick with either the shin or the knee. Which part of your leg that makes contact with the opponent will be determined by how far away they are. If they're a little farther or moving away from you, it's going to be the shin. If they're closer or moving in, you'll catch them with the knee. This is very good against someone who's got good hands, because there's one other difference between this and the step-in kick, and that is you're going to bend slightly at the waist away from the opponent. Watch while I do it. I come around, but I don't extend the knee out. I keep it bent. It's very good against someone who's got good hands because you're able to attack them while moving your head and your torso away from them. The shin still comes up at a 45-degree angle. You still turn the hip over. And we're pivoting on that planted foot, locking that knee out. Locking the planted leg's knee. Keeping the opposite hand up for our guard, throwing the hand on the side that we're kicking back to get our momentum going. Bring the shin up at 45 degrees, turn it over. Like that. Once again, I want to show you how to do this with a partner. And to practice this kick with a partner, what we do is we hold the leg and look to see that we're at the right position at the point of impact. Now watch. My knee's bent and I'm hitting with the shin here. That's the knee. That's the knee. Watch from this angle. See how I bend him away from the waist? You can also vary how much you jump in or step in depending on how far away the opponent is. Walter's in good position here. That was a good one. He moved me back a little. This is an important variation on your basic round kick. If your opponent's expecting just a regular step-in kick, this will surprise him. And again, it's very good against someone who has good hand technique. You want to watch your opponent and figure out what kind of strategy you want to use based on his strengths. The next kick I want to show you is called the step-back kick. Now this is a kick that you can use if the opponent's attacking and coming in at you. You move back and away from him at first, and then you're going to be able to kick at a 45-degree again. This is a good kick to use if your opponent has a lead that doesn't match with yours. You want to be able to kick his strong side. Be able to switch your lead and then kick him to his power side. Move back, switch, and kick. Come up at a 45-degree again and go to his strong side. If he's got a left lead, you kick him on the right. And the opposite applies also. If he comes in with strong hands, this is a good kick. But you have to be quick to do this because he's going to look to get you. You've got to get the basic footwork down before you can try it. Watch this part of the tape several times to really understand what I'm doing here. This is somewhat complicated, so I'm going to go over it again. If your opponent's strong side is opposite your lead, then that's when you want to use this kick. I'm now going to show you the step-back kick with Walter. Part of the step-back kick that I just showed you involves a switch kick also. These can be used singularly or in conjunction with one another. Now the target is once again the torso, ribs,
นี้นะฮะ
body, or the arm that they're protecting. Now first I'll demonstrate it if I have a left lead. I step back, I switch, and I kick. It's my left lead against Walter's left lead.
ซ้าย
Now I'm going to switch. I have a right lead now. Walter still has a left lead. The footwork involved here is quite complicated. You've got to really work at it to become proficient.
เห็นไหมครับเวลาเราเตะ
Now remember, like all the other kicks, when you kick, you've got to keep your hands up. Opposite side, I kick with the right, keep the left hand up. Kick with the left, keep the right hand up. Now part of the step back kick I've been doing involves a switch kick, which Walter will now demonstrate for you. This is just a straight switch kick without stepping back. Watch what he does, how he switches which leg he'll kick with. He's got a left lead, he switches back and kicks with that left leg. Moves it to the back position so he can use all his power.
Body go forward more. Up. Good. Up. Change the side now. Change it. Go up.
Again, this is some more complicated footwork. It's a more advanced kick.
Up.
It takes time to develop it. Now, I'm keeping my hand up. See, I'm catching his kick with my hand?
You hit more. Up.
Right there. Got my guard up. Now, if I don't do that, he'll kick me in the neck and he can knock me out.
มือจะตก
So you've got to keep your hand up to protect against this kick. Now I want to talk about moving and kicking. When I say move, we're going to move out at a 45-degree angle. This differs from the stepping kick, where you step straight in.
เราต้อง
We're going to move out to the side. Don't step straight in on this kick.
เตะอันต่อไปคือเรา
We're going to step out
เคลื่อน
either
ตัวออกให้เป็นออกด้าน
to my left or to my right.
45 องศานะ
I step out to the left at 45 degrees instead of stepping straight in. Not straight in, out to a 45-degree angle, or out to this side.
เพื่อจะเตะขวา
Watch.
เตะก้าวให้เป็น
I step out, 45 degrees. My opponent, if he's coming in, this is a great kick to use if he's coming and attacking me. Because now I'm out to the side. Same thing on this side. He's coming straight in. I'm avoiding him, and now I can kick him. It also works if he's not moving. If we're toe-to-toe, and I step out, now I've got an angle on him. He's right there. I can kick him. The kick is very similar to the others. Bring the leg up at a 45 degree and turn it over. He's got to make the adjustment in his defense because now I'm not where I was. I'm at his side. This is a great tactic to use in the ring if your opponent is attacking you. It's also very good for self-defense. You're toe-to-toe with somebody in the street, they're coming at you, you step out to the side and then kick. This has two advantages. One, if they're attacking you, they don't have the same target as before, and now you have a different angle of attack on them. So it hurts them and it helps you. It allows you to switch. You can go to either side.
ความแตกต่างระหว่างก้าว
Again,
ไปเตะ
it's not a straight step-in kick.
เคลื่อนตัวออกไป
We go out to either side.
ก้าวไปเตะไปด้านนี้
It's similar in that we're moving forward, bring our momentum forward, but instead of straight in, I go to the side of the target.
จะฝึกกับคู่ให้ดูนะครับว่าคู่จะเตะ
Now once again, I want to show you this with one of my students.
ครับ
I think everything's clearer when we do this.
เริ่มนิดนึงถ้าผมจะเตะซ้ายผมจะเตะขวาครับผมจะเตะขวา
Now I'm going to transfer my power from my back leg, move myself to the left,
ไปด้านนี้
and I'll be able to kick Walter.
ผมจะก้าวไปด้านนี้
Where I go out to the other side, same thing. Then I kick with my left leg instead of the right leg.
ช้าๆก้าวขึ้นถ้าเตะซ้ายนะฮะก้าว
I move to the right, I kick with the left.
นะ
I move to the left, I kick with the right.
ดูนะผมจะขึ้นตัวให้เร็วนะครับนะ
You're moving out at a 45-degree angle, approximately.
นะครับง่ายๆช้า
You're going to make minor adjustments depending on
ๆนะฮะ
how you start, the initial starting point.
ก้าวก้าว
I can do a regular roundhouse kick here, or I can do a semi-knee kick.
นะครับผมจะทำให้เร็วๆนะ
Both can be initiated from the move and kick maneuver.
ก้าวฮึบโอเคโนลูกวอเตอร์คิกกิ้งเตะฮึบฮึบฮึบ
Walter's doing the same thing here. He's stepping out to the right, kicking with the left.
เอาสุด
And this also works. If you notice, I'm stepping back a little bit, so this allows Walter to bridge the distance. Instead of coming straight in at me, he's coming in at an angle. Now this is more sophisticated and more advanced technique than just stepping straight in. First you want to learn how to step straight in and kick, then work on coming at an angle.
เห็นไหมครับเวลาการเตะก้าวเข้าไปเตะนั้นก้าวไป
Again, out at a 45-degree angle to either side.
เตะขวา
Don't be predictable.
ก้าวไปด้านซ้ายเตะเห็นไหมฮะ
Step in, transfer your power, use your momentum to get your body in.
เตะขวาก้าวซ้ายเตะซ้ายก้าวไปขวาโอเคครับทีนี้เรา
The next kick that I want to show you is called the neck kick.
คือการเตะ
This is a high kick directed at the neck. This is our third target area. As we said before, we had the legs, the body, and kicking above the neck. Now there are a lot of nerves and a lot of arteries in the neck, so if you're able to execute this kick, you'll do a lot of damage to your opponent. You want to use the ankle to make contact with the neck. But be careful when executing this kick, because you're kicking so high, you leave yourself exposed to a counter from your opponent. You want to be quick when you do this. Don't be slow. And look for the right time and the right opening to attempt it. Now sometimes when you do this kick, you're not going to make contact with the neck, you'll hit your opponent in his guard, in his gloves. And when that happens, we call that the guard kick. That's good also though, it'll throw him off. Right in the neck. That's the best. And if he's coming in, you catch him as he comes in, you're going to knock him out for sure. Now I'm showing you this kick last because it's a very hard kick to develop. It'll take some time. Now if you're working out by yourself, this is a particularly hard kick to develop. It's very hard to keep your balance as you spin all the way around when you shadow box this kick. If you have a bag, that makes it a little easier. But it's really best to work on this kick with somebody else, with a partner. Now if you're in a fight in the ring, the best time to use this kick is right after the ref says box. Do it right away if you can. That's your best chance. Now watch how I work on it with Walter. That would be a guard kick. I came right by him. Takes a lot of flexibility to execute this kick properly. So the guard kick is our first kick to the neck area. Again, a good time to use it is at right at the beginning of a fight. Break your opponent's rhythm and concentration. Now the next kick that I want to talk to the neck area is called the ankle cross. To perform this kick, what you're going to do is bend your knee a little and come in. Get your momentum going forward like this. Gives you more power. The footwork here is similar to the step-in kick. You're going to step in, bridge the distance, move closer to your opponent. But now the target is the neck area. How high you kick will depend on how flexible you are. You might kick your opponent's shoulder if he's much taller than you. You've got to make the adjustment. Now I have another kick to show you that's directed to the neck. This is the moving kick. It's like the one we did before to the body. You move out in an angle, but this time it's to the neck. And we're going to move out the ball of our foot, bend the knee, and spring up. Elevate. It's very similar to the moving kick to the body before. Crouch down and spring yourself up. You can do it to the left or to the right. So now you've seen the different kicks we have to the neck. The guard kick is where you just stand and kick. The ankle cross or the moving kick is when you're moving and then kicking. So these are just some of the neck kicks that we have in Muay Thai. Once again, I'm going to work with two of my students. I have a less experienced student, Nick. and I have a more experienced student, Walter.
ปี4 ปีแล้วเขาชกมาแล้วก็
Now watch how I work with them and correct them. You can do this whether you're teaching someone or you're just working out with someone as a partner. Nick's off to a good start, but I want him to turn his hip more. Turn it over. He needs to pivot more on that front foot in order to be able to do that. To get that pivot going, turn the shoulders. And he needs to come off the back foot. Now I'm turning his shoulders for him so he gets that feeling.
นิกเวลาเขาเตะเขาก็จะไม่หมุนทั้งลำตัว
If you don't turn your hip, you're not going to have any power.
แต่นั้นเวลาเตะขวามือซ้ายต้องบางขึ้นอย่างนี้
You've got to keep the other hand up while he kicks. And if you throw the hand back, that helps you get the momentum going.
ออกให้เต็มที่ที่จะออกได้นะครับลองอีกครั้งนึงนะครับดูอีกครั้งนึง Speed up
That's better.
Speed up ไปโอเคนะครับเมื่อกี้ที่ผมบอกแล้วว่า
Now we're going to watch Walter kick. I want you to watch this closely and see if you can pick up the difference between a newer student and a more experienced student. Worked with Walter for about 4 years. He's had a couple fights in the ring. You should be able to see the difference.
น้ำหนักการเตะการออกอาวุธที่เร็วจะแตกต่างกันไหมแล้วผมจะบอกให้รู้ว่าแตกต่างกัน
He's quicker, he'll have more power. Watch. He pivots a lot more on that front foot, on the planted foot. Watch how he turns his foot. Brings the leg straight up.
เห็นไหมครับเวลาวอเตอร์เขาเตะเนี่ยเขาจะออกน้ำหนัก
He keeps his right hand up, the power comes from the back leg.
เตะเท้าขวาเขาจะเหวี่ยงแขนขวาออกไปมือซ้าย
Puts the back hand down and turns his shoulders so the rest of the body
การ
follows.
เตะทั้งหมดเนี่ยน้ำหนักอาวุธที่ออกไปเนี่ย
Just like punching, your power comes from your legs.
ของเรานะฮะจะดูอีกครั้งหนึ่งเขาจะออกจากส่วนลำตัวด้านนี้ดูอีกครั้งนะครับ Make it faster. Good.
Strong kick.
ไป
I'm now going to show you a more advanced way to work with the kick pads. I'm not going to hold them together, but rather I'm going to work in a more dynamic way so that Walter can't stand still. He's got to move. This will help him work on his movement and kicking at the same time. Now I'm working with Walter more in the sparring sense. I don't have the pads together the whole time. I bring them together as I see his leg come up. And I push him off with my free hand so that he has to come in and kick me. He can't stay still. And I throw a kick at him once in a while so he doesn't get lazy and sloppy. You've got to keep moving so they keep moving. Don't go in the same direction. Go clockwise for a while, then go counterclockwise. Move them back, let them come in. Keep them moving all the time. See if they flinch. Try to fake them. Now Walter's kicking whenever he wants to here. This is good training for the kicker. It's also good training for the pad holder. He's got to see the leg coming up and move the pads together in time to catch the kick. It's important that you watch him closely and you give him feedback. You can also learn how to make your kick better by watching them closely. See what they're doing right, see what they're not doing right. Try to learn. Pay attention. Just don't hold the pads. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to kick the pads with more power. Make sure when you're kicking, you keep the opposite side hand up. I'm going to kick with my right leg. I'm going to keep my left hand up. Keep my guard up at all times. It's to block any kick from my opponent in case he tries to kick me while I kick him.
เหยียดตึง
Now I want to pivot on my planted foot.
นะฮะ
Make sure the kicking side stays loose
น้ำหนักจะไม่มากเพราะมัน
and
ตึง
launch yourself off that back foot.
แต่ถ้าเตะซ้าย
Launch and
หมุ
twist.
นเตะขวาเนี่ยเท้าซ้ายหมุน
Pivot the front foot.
หมุนอย่างนี้ไม่แค่เตะแล้วอยู่แค่นี้
This allows your hips to come through, allows all your power to come through.
ก้าวเข้าไปแล้วเตะก้าวเข้าไปแล้วเตะแล้วเตะ
Launch yourself off that back foot. Bring your power forward.
ก้าวไปแล้วเตะ
You want all your momentum to bring you forward. Watch how I do it. Bring the power straight forward. I pivot off that front foot. Turn the hip over. Turn the whole body. The shoulders turn. Everything turns. Now from the other side. It'll take some time before you are able to kick from both sides like this. Just work with it. It also takes time to be quick. You've got to launch yourself off the back foot and twist on that front foot. Pivot on it. But get all your momentum turning so you can be quick and powerful. It's not an easy kick to learn. It takes some time. Study this section of the tape closely. Just pivoting on the front foot's not enough. You've got to really launch yourself off that back foot in order to turn yourself with force and power. Now it's time to show you some knee techniques. We use the knee when we're in closer range than we would where we kick. It's similar to the distinction between punching and elbows. It's a closer range weapon, and like elbows, it's a very powerful weapon. You use the top of the knee sometimes, so we're going to start with, is using the top of it and bringing it straight up. Now, like the elbow techniques, knee techniques are very good in self-defense situations. Someone comes in close to you, you feel threatened, you want to protect yourself. A knee technique is a very good weapon to have. Now the first technique I want to show you is a straight knee. First assume the on-guard position. Going to do it with the back leg. Bring it forward and out. Bring the hips forward. Toes point down, not up. Toes point straight down. Protect the toes, make the legs stronger. You don't want to jam your toes or break your toes. Straight forward. Bring the hips through and bend back from the waist. Now if you want a knee with the other leg, you just switch and come through. You always want a knee with the leg that's in the back. Sometimes you'll have to switch. Bring the hips forward and through on either side. Drop the arm on the side that you're kneeing. Keep the chin down. Keep it in tight. And bring the other arm across the chest to protect against your opponent countering. And elevate on the planted foot. Get on the ball of that foot. Get your momentum and your weight going forward. Bring it through. Now when doing the straight knee, you want to bring the leg straight up and out. Try to make it long. Bridge the distance. To do this, you're going to bring your hips forward and push out. Your target area is the stomach. Right out. Now we'll cover more of the application in tape 4. Right now you need to develop the technique. Straight out. It's important that you learn how to come out with it. Don't keep your knee close to your body. You want to be able to strike far away from your body. Bring the leg right back and reload. Straight out. That'll have the most power. Lean back. Adds to the power. Drive the hips through. Drive the hips through. Straight knee is your most basic knee. It's the first one you need to learn. Now I'm going to work on it with Walter. See how I make my knee move away from my body? I drive my hips through. Walter does the same. Bring the hips through. That's where your power is going to come from.
เห็นไหมครับก้าวตรงๆ
He's got his toes pointed down.
ครั้งหนึ่งเล็บนี่เล็บนี่ฮึบฮึบเห็นไหมครับ
He switched leads there, came with the back knee.
เข่านี่เวลาเราแทงเข้าไปทำให้มันยาวที่สุดเพราะเข่าเรานี่มัน
It's important to drive straight through with it. Be strong.
มีน้ำหนักมากกว่าครับนี่ฮึบฮึบ
Good. That was a good one.
ฮึบนี่เล็บฮึบดูนะครับดูเข่าให้ดูนะทำนี่อยู่โอเคนี่อยู่ฮึบ
You want to lean the body away so your opponent can't punch you when you knee him. Lean your head out of his reach if you can. It's the best way to practice the knees with a partner. I have two more knees I want to show you now. The diagonal knee and the curved knee. Diagonal goes across, curve goes out. Your target is the side of the stomach, below the ribs. The straight knee goes right to the middle of the stomach. These go on the outside. The diagonal knee is done across your body at your opponent, from either leg, straight across. And the curve goes out and around, like this. Now both of these knee techniques are used in the clinching. It depends on your opponent's defense and what opening you see. Sometimes you can go inside with diagonal, or you'll go outside with the curved knee. I think the distinction will be clearer when I show you with my partner. Diagonal comes inside. And the curved knee comes out and around. Out and around. When I say diagonal, I'm going diagonally across his body. When I curve out and around. It's very tender right here. It's a good place to knee. It's the area you want to aim for. Curving out and around. Out and around. Now when you see this used in a clinch, you'll understand why you need both techniques. Depending on what your opponent does with his knees to block you, you'll use one or the other. We'll get to that in tape 4. For now, just work on these techniques. Alright, I have one more knee technique to show you on this tape. It's the cross knee. This one's aimed for the thigh. Come in from different angles. It targets the thigh. You want to be able to use both of your knees in the cross knee technique and attack your opponent's thighs. The cross knee is a very effective tool. Similar to the kicking in the thigh, if you bruise the thigh enough, you'll immobilize your opponent, and you won't be able to move, and it'll be a sitting duck just waiting for you. So we have the straight knee, diagonal knee, the curved knee, and the cross knee. And these are the knee techniques I wanted to cover in this tape. We'll show applications in tape 4. Hello, and welcome to Muay Thai Fighting Techniques. This is tape 4. In the prior 3 tapes, we cover the fundamentals, including conditioning. Before attempting the techniques in this tape, you want to make sure you have the basics down. You want to be in good shape and have started to work on the combinations. In this tape, we show you how to apply these techniques in the ring. Now, this is just a sample of some of the fighting techniques that we have in Muay Thai. Now, obviously, in one tape, I'm not going to be able to cover for you all the techniques that we use in the ring. In addition, once you start spending time in the ring, you will start to learn on your own and develop your own combinations and applications. Every fighter that you'll work out with is different, and you should try to learn something from each one of them. Every trainer that you work with will have different things to offer you. Have an open mind and try to develop things on your own. But while you're in the ring, pay attention to what goes on. The ring is a great place to learn. As we went over in tape 1, before you work out, it's imperative that you warm up. You want to have the joints loose, the muscles warm. This is to prevent injuries. If you just jump into working out, you're going to get hurt. Don't forget to jump rope. You want to stretch out. Make sure you're limber. All the things we went over in tape 1. Then we're going to start the shadow box. At first, go slowly. Be loose. Don't be tight. Don't do the full range of motion. Maybe 3/4. And not full speed either. But shortly after I start, I'm going to start going faster and doing the full range of motion. Now you want to do this for 3 rounds before you work out. Shadow box on your own. Feel what you're doing. Be aware of what you're doing. It's time to get focused and concentrate. And do it for 3 3-minute rounds. Use all your tools, all your techniques that you've developed. Get yourself ready to go. Always do this before working with any of the equipment. The heavy bag, the small bag, the folks gloves, the kick pads. This is your preparation before you work out. I'm using all of my techniques here. If there's some things that you might want to work on, especially this particular day, concentrate on those. If you want to work on your elbows today, make sure you start with that. If you have a mirror available to you, it's good to use a mirror. Then you can see yourself. All right. Now I'm ready to work out. The first thing I want to work with you on is how to use the kick pads in the ring. I'm going to show you how to use the kick pads to work on the leg, the body, and the neck area. One of my students will be joining me. Watch how he holds the pads. I'm going to bring my leg up at 45 degrees. Remember everything from the other tapes. This is a more dynamic training technique, though, more of a fighting technique. Okay. Leg, body, head. You see how Walter drops the pad to work for the legs, comes up with the body kicks, and then brings them higher for the neck kicks. Now Walter is just showing me the pads, and I'm responding and reacting. When I see it low, I kick low, body, and then higher. This works on your timing and your reactions. As difficult as it is to kick these pads, it also takes a great deal of skill to hold the pads properly like this. So that is how you develop the leg kick, the body kick, and the neck kick with the kick pads. Now, in the tape 3, I introduced you to the knee techniques. Here we're going to use the kick pads to develop them more. The straight knee, diagonal knee. I just introduced them before. I'm going to show you now how to work on them, make them stronger. Remember, when you knee, to have more power, I'm going to bring your hips in.
ดูตัวอย่างง่ายๆ
Using the pads will help you develop a strong knee technique. Bring the legs straight up. Don't forget to point the toes down to protect them, make the legs strong. See how I drive my hips forward? I stand on the ball of the planted foot and I'll pivot off it to get more extension. Now I'm starting to clinch. Standing on the balls of my feet, making my back and shoulders tight, and I bring my body close to the opponent, not far away. This allows me to control him and move him around. Be close. The inclination is to keep yourself far away. You want to knee and then come in. Move him around, yank on his neck, pull him down simultaneously, and then push off. I'm now going to start to go into some specific techniques that you can use against opponent's weapons. The first I'm going to show you is if your opponent has a strong jab. First I will show you some evasive maneuvers and then some counter techniques that you can use subsequent to these evasive techniques. First you must identify if your opponent has a good jab. Then you want to evade it. You might step out. Watch, I'll show you. The first technique I'm going to show you is when the jab comes in, you catch it. Catch it and step out. Move away, watch for the right hand. He might be setting you up. I catch it, I move out. I keep my elbow up high to protect my cheek and my head, and the other hand stays up also, and I move away from him to evade him. Transfer my power out to this foot so I can come in. I'll show you the counter later. Work this drill over and over. Alright, that's the first one. Now I'm going to show you the second option you have if your opponent has a good jab. I'm going to use the right hand to block it, and then step out. Right hand to block it and step out. Now you want to have both of these tools available to you. Just don't work on one of them. And again, watch for the right hand. He could be setting you up with the left, so he can use the right. This is where you have to start thinking. It's not a matter of just using the techniques. Now we have a third technique we use. We lean back or slide out a little, depending on your opponent's reach and if he's sliding in or if he's just standing there when he throws the jab. Make the adjustment. I lean out, I slide out. Depends on the situation. Be able to do both of them. So those are three evasive techniques that we have if your opponent has a good jab. Now, off of these evasive techniques, we have counters. And while the evasive techniques are important to learn, you use those to build the counters upon. Create an opening for yourself. You're going to catch them and you can come in with the right hook or a left hook. Look for the opening. I catch. I can throw the overhook. I catch. I come with a hook low to the body. Now the hook is a good punch to use here because if you're catching your opponent's hand, you're in close. High, low. Look for the opening. Maybe you can throw both. Alright, so that is the first counter. Now we're stepping out, chopping down, and throwing the cross, a left cross because I've switched my lead here. Watch again. Chop down, throw the left. Watch out for the right again. Keep your shoulder up, your head in. Be able to avoid that punch if it comes. I chop down, I throw the left, bring my shoulder up to protect my cheek. Now I've stepped out. This is the third evasion. Step out and then come in. This is more of a timing counter. From either side you can throw the punch. Move out of his reach and then counter. So these are 3 techniques you can use against an opponent who has a good jab. 3 evasions and 3 counters. If your opponent comes in with good hands, you can also counter with the elbow. As a matter of fact, it is sometimes a more effective technique. Watch as I demonstrate. Jab comes in, I catch it, I step in, overhead elbow. Watch again. Jab comes in, I elevate and then come down with the elbow. I hold that hand down and I'm looking out for that right hand too. When using these elbow techniques in close, keep your chin tucked down so you're not exposed. I catch it, I step out and in. Very effective technique. So I elevate and I come down. I'm on the toe of my back foot. Watch my footwork. Look for that right cross though when you come in. That's why the head's down. You've got to be quick because you're coming in close. Now here's a front elbow instead. I catch it and I come in even closer. Chin is still tucked. I turn my body into him. Bring your hips forward with these elbows. Drive through. So these are some elbow counters. Now we have another way to counter good hand techniques, and that's by using your kick. It's important that you move before you kick though. You can kick them to the leg, to the body, or to the neck, our 3 target zones. But don't stand still as the punch comes in. Evade it with your footwork, and then counter with your kick. It's important that you're not a sitting target. Be moving. You have to have good stamina for this. That's why conditioning is so important in Muay Thai. We expend a lot of energy, burn a lot of calories. It's a good workout, but you've got to be in good shape. Pick your target. Look for the opening for where you can kick him. I'm going to work with Walter once again. Punch comes in. Don't stand there. That's it. It's over. I lean out and I kick. I move my body to avoid. I might even check the punch with my hand, make sure I know where it is, and then I kick. He comes in, I kick. Check it. Punch comes in. Watch out for the other hand though. Now before you can do this, you've really got to work on your kicks. This is the advanced tape. Don't be frustrated if you're not able to perform these maneuvers right off the bat. Now when he throws the punch, I'm looking for what he leaves open for me. Where's the opening? So if someone's got good hands, you can counter with your hands, with your elbows, or kicking them to the leg, the body, the neck. And how you counter depends on your skills. If your elbow technique is good, use it. If your kicking technique is good, use it. But to use any of these techniques, you've got to be in good shape. The art of Muay Thai is a very difficult one to learn. The push kick is another option that you can use if your opponent has a good jab. Depending on the opening that he leaves you, you can use one of the various push kicks that we showed you already. Now make sure You keep your hands when you push kick. Don't drop them down. Keep your hands up.
มือขึ้น
You can drop the hand as you kick, but bring it right back up as you bring the foot back down. Watch for the counter. He might set you up the jab and then throw the cross if you drop your hands.
เราวิธีป้องกันอย่างไรนะฮะสำหรับ
But the push kick is good because it allows you to keep your distance
แน่นแล้วก็หมัด
if the opponent is throwing the jab.
โชว์สำหรับการถีบให้ดูนะครับ
Timing's important. As you see the jab coming, watch how I throw the kick. I lean out a little, out of his reach. I push kick low to the leg, a little higher to the stomach. Now when you work out with a partner, don't use the heel. That's a stronger one. None of this is full power. We're working on our techniques here. We're not sparring, we're not fighting. Now Walter's taller than me, but I'm still able to keep him off
เห็นไหมครับ
of me with my kicks because the legs are
เท้า
longer.
เราจะ
So the push kick is really good to keep your opponent's punches off
เขา
you.
มีนวม
Also,
เท้าเราไม่มีนวม
the hand has a glove on it, the foot doesn't, so the kicks are more powerful than a punch. The important thing is the timing. You've got to time your push kick to arrive as his punch is leaving.
เราจะเป็นฝ่ายชนะวันนี้ผมจะโชว์การ
And we can also use our knee techniques to counter
มีหมัดนั้น
if your opponent has good hands.
ถ้าเรายืนอยู่ใน
Now if he's using the hands and you want to use a knee,
นะฮะ
you're going to come in close. This works well against someone who has a long reach. You're taking away that advantage from him by stepping inside and then kneeing him.
แทงดักเลยนะฮะนะเขาต่อย
So you not only want to look at your opponent's skills, you want to look at their physical attributes
เขาต่อยมาปั๊บปั๊บแทง
and
ดัก
see how you can
ปั๊บแทงดักเลยนะครับ
best use them to your advantage.
โชว์ตัวอย่างให้ดูนิดนึงนะครับสมมุติเขายัดมาวางเขาต่อย
Punch comes in, I check it,
ไปขวาปั้งนี่
look for the cross.
หมัดเข้าจะโดนหน้า
I'm outside. Now
ฝัง
he can punch me here, full extension. He can get a lot of power into his punches because I'm away from him.
แทง
If I move in, it's another story. I catch it and I move in and knee him.
แทงนะฮะหรือ
And I grab him on the back of the neck instead of holding the head,
หรือ
and I use opposing pressure. I pull. Then I can really go to town if I get a hold of his neck with both hands.
แทงโค้งแทงตรงนะฮะ
I'm using all my knee techniques here. Straight knee, diagonal, curved.
ครั้งหนึงนะครับสโลว์นะครับแทงมืออย่าตกนะฮะปั๊บ
I come in and I bridge the distance.
แทง
That's the opening move. That's to get the first knee in.
แทง
Semi-knee kick also if you're a little farther away. Use that.
แทงต่อไปนี้ผม
Now you just saw me use some knee techniques in the clenching
นะฮะการจับคอตีเข่า
situations. I'd like to go more specifically into that at this point.
สำหรับ
If you get your opponent in a clinch, you can really work them good. Really inflict some damage because you're using your leverage, you're pulling down on him and pulling and kneeing him at the same time. It's important when you get in the clinch that you bring your elbows together. Don't have them apart like this. Want them together. That will prevent him from countering straight up the middle at you.
เหวี่ยงเขานะฮะแล้วหมุนเท้าขวา
And you want to move him.
เห็นไหมฮะ
Twist him.
ซ้ายบีบเขาเหวี่ยงนะฮะ
Either way.
เหวี่ยงข้อมือ
Now if he's resisting you, you can use his momentum to move him the way that he's leaning into, or you can move him the other way. Don't be predictable. Move out, and then move the leg back, and then knee up into him. As you move, you want to set up the knee. You're not just moving around to move him around. You want to move him and then knee him.
ดูง่ายๆผมจะคุยกับสักครู่ให้ดูนะฮะ
Set him up.
ง่าย
Watch how I do it.
ๆบีบเขานะฮะบีบ
I clench, I'm on my toes.
ผมจะเหวี่ยงมาทางขวา
Not just because Walter's taller, it gives me more leverage. My elbows are together. I pull down. My back leg comes up, and I knee him.
เหวี่ยง
Again,
แทงเหวี่ยงซ้ายเหวี่ยงแทง
controlling him just by pulling on his head.
ด้านหน้านะฮะเราจะขึ้นทางหัวนะฮะ
I can come up and high if he's protecting low.
หนึ่งแล้วจับเขาเหวี่ยง
Pull down hard, and then knee up.
เหวี่ยงแทง
This really tires somebody out.
เหวี่ยงนะฮะเหวี่ยงเขาจับให้
I'm pulling him down far enough here where I can knee him in the head, actually.
ทางเข้าไป
I'm moving Walter not just to the left and right, but also in and out. The idea here is to move him where he least expects it.
เทคนิคนิดนึงสำหรับถ้าเรา
We're now going to move on countering techniques for elbows. If your opponent comes in with good elbows, your countering techniques are more limited. You don't want to use hands, and you don't want to use knees. An elbow technique is an in-close technique, so hands don't put enough distance between you and the opponent. What you want to use are your kicks. That's going to push him away from you and not allow him to use his elbows. If he's coming in with his elbows, that must be one of his better skills. So to negate that, you want to push him away, kick him off, kick him in the arms, and he won't be able to use his elbows. But keep your hands up. Don't get elbowed. While you're evading him, don't let him get you. If you move straight back, his momentum will carry him into you. Be light on your feet and move out at an angle. That will allow you to counter with your legs and push him off. Now I'm using a variety of kicks here. Again, timing's important. Now Walter again is taller than me, so he's got the advantage of the reach with his elbow. I've really got to work hard to push him off my legs. But by repeatedly kicking him in the arms, you'll make their arms sore, and they'll lose the mobility in their arms. Keep your hands up. In this next section, we're going to deal with how you want to counter if your opponent has a good leg technique. If he kicks to the leg, to the body, or to the neck and head. In each instance, it's a little different. The first we'll deal with is if he's kicking to your leg. Footwork's important here. You want to be able to be light on your feet and move out and away, and use that to evade him. As the kick comes in, I just slide out. He's trying to kick my front leg, I just slide out. Now, if I need to cover more distance, I hop. It's a matter of judging and how big he is in his reach and how much he jumps in. I jump back much farther there. I had to get out of the way. I hop back and then come back in. I use the energy as I spring back to propel myself back in. Out and in. I want to counter. I just don't want to evade him. I want to evade and then counter. Move out, in and punch. Or move out, in and kick. Look for the opening. Out, in, kick him in the back of the legs. Or I block with my shin and then punch. This is different. Now I'm blocking. I'm not moving out. Block and kick with the same leg. Block and kick with the other leg. Block, kick him in the back. I just push him off. I jam him. As I see the leg come up, I jam his knee here. He can't bring the leg up any higher. I jam his hip. You've got to be quicker than your opponent to do this. Slide out, kick him to the body. Slide out, punch. Don't use the same technique over and over. Mix it up. Use different ones. Don't let him predict what you're going to do next. Now in that last section, I introduced the block. Let's talk in more detail about this. This is a sophisticated technique to develop. You're going to block with the shin bone. Raise the leg, somewhat similar to kneeing, but don't use the muscle. Use the muscle, you're going to get hurt. You want to go bone to bone. Don't use the outside of the leg where the muscle is. You want to use the flat part of the shin bone. When you kick, you use the sharp edge, the leading edge of the bone. When you block, you use the flat part of the shin. Bring it up and block. Don't drop your hands. From either side.
ยกขึ้นนะฮะ
Now it takes some time to be able to do this. Your balance, coordination.
วอเตอร์เขาจะเตะขวา
Watch as I apply it.
ฮึบนะผมจะบล็อกซ้ายนะฮะฮึบครับดูเขาเก็บค้าง
Now when you practice this, you want to go soft at first. I have two types of blocks I'm going to show you. Cross block. That's a cross block, cross my body. And that's an outside block. Now when you do these blocks, make your body tight on that side, your leg and also your shoulder, because when you block with your leg, he might try to kick over your leg and up to your arm. And if you're loose and soft, you can get knocked down. Be tight. You've got to absorb the impact. On the other side. You've really got to condition your shins on the bag before you start to develop this technique. And again, don't be predictable. Watch how the kick comes up and then use a different block. Cross block, outside block. Mix it up. Now if you can't block and the kick is coming higher to the body, you want to catch it. Catch it and turn. I catch it. I can lift up. Make sure you keep your hand up so he doesn't punch you. And I move him back. Again, I catch it. I keep my hand out. Or I can crank hard on it on the ankle. Once you catch, there's a variety of things to do. Now I catch and I turn out. Instead of pushing him back, I turn him around and I move away. I step out and crank hard on the leg. If you do this hard enough, you can break the ankle. Now there's another option when you catch the leg. You can lift up and push them back. Push them back and then follow in. I grab it, I lift up, I push him back, and then I follow in. Push him right into the ropes. Don't stop. Catch, lift up, push back. And that's if he can keep his balance. Sometimes he'll fall right down. Now after you've developed your blocking techniques and your catching skills, you can use them in more of a freelance way. And you'll do that by playing with your partner, going lightly, going back and forth, both of you taking turns trying to kick and block and mix it up. Block and bring it right back. And do this lightly. You're not trying to fight each other. You're working on your techniques and timing. We're just playing here, working on our leg techniques. So these are some things you can do if your opponent has good leg kicks or good body kicks. We're now going to move on to if your opponent tries to kick you in the neck. Again, footwork's important here. If you don't move, you'll get kicked in the head. So we lean back, lean out of the kick. You see it coming, lean out. Keep your hands up, counter. Lean out, and then come back in. Bend from the waist. Don't come forward. Bend back from the waist. I get on the ball of that back foot to support myself. Bring my weight back, and then spring forward if I see an opening to counter. Keep your hands up when they kick to the head, and then counter with those hands. Come in quick if you can.
ตามโต้ด้วยเตะ
Kick to the
ขา
leg if you can. Look for the opening. You lean back
โต้ด้วยเตะขา
and come in with one of your
โต้ด้วย
tools.
เตะลำตัวนะฮะผมจะต่อโต้ด้วยเตะลำตัว
When you get to this point, you've got to really look for the openings and use techniques that you develop, your strengths. You can use the knee.
ตอบโต้ด้วยเข่า
It's a matter of being adaptive and seeing what openings are available to you.
เดี๋ยวผมจะตอบโต้ด้วยศอกนะฮะตอบโต้
Come in
ด้วย
with
ศ
the
อก
elbow.
ครั้งหนึ่ง
You'd be closer after this. Remember the ranges we talked about for each of
ต
these
อบโต้ด้วยหมัดนะฮะจะเป็นหมัด
skills.
ต่อยตรงต่อยฮุกต่อยอัปเปอร์คัตแล้วแต่เรานะ
If he's in close, use the hook and uppercut. Remember, if your opponent tries to kick you in the head and he misses, there's a good chance he'll be off balance, so it's a great time to counter. His momentum is going to turn him around and he might even slip and fall on his own.
เห็นไหมครับ เมื่อเราหนีเขาได้แล้วเราป้องกันตัวได้แล้ว
So these are evasive and defensive techniques and countering techniques that you can employ if your opponent is trying to kick you to the
โอ
head.
เคครับต่อไปนี้
The next thing we're going to cover are techniques that you can use if your opponent catches your leg. We showed you how to catch the leg before, now I'm going to show you what to do if it happens to you. There are several different things that we do depending on your opponent's position after he catches your leg. You either want to pull him into you or push him away from you. You can turn your knee in and pull him in closer. Grab his head, slip your foot between his legs onto the cup, push out and pull in at the same time, or you bring your knee to his chest. I kick, Walter catches my leg. Try to kick him off, don't let him hold on to the leg is the first I want to show you. He has my leg, I use my hamstring, my leg strength to kick him away. Don't let him have a good hold of it. The second is I'm going to turn my knee in and try to pull him in with my leg. Use my leg strength. Twisting my leg so he can't get a good hold of it again. I use my knee, now I slip it underneath. Come inside instead of going outside with my foot. And I pull down on the head simultaneously. He should lose his balance if I do this quick enough. Or I can bring the knee to the chest. I slip the foot in again, bring the knee to the chest, and pull down on his head. Make him sorry that he grabbed your leg. Make him pay for it. Because you're vulnerable when he grabs your leg. You've got to be quick. Just don't let him hold on to it. Do something. Bend the knee in, kick him off, or slip your foot between his legs and pull him down, pull him off balance. You've got to react quickly to the situation. Pull his chest into your knee. The next thing we're going to cover here is if your opponent comes at you with push kicks. Again, footwork's the first thing we're going to work on. If he tries to push kick to your leg or your body, you want to move out of his reach, move out of his range. Don't let him kick you. Move out. Just slide back. No farther than necessary. Or step out. Or step to the side. Slide my leg back. Slide back. Slide back. Keep your hands up. Don't be tight. Be ready to throw a punch. Slide out. Or step back. Hop out. I gained more distance away from my opponent there. Then come right back in. Try to set yourself up off of the evasion. Set yourself up so you can counter.
เคนะครับตัวนี้ผมจะทำให้เร็วที่สุดนะฮะไม่ติดแฟน
Try to fool your opponent. Maybe he thinks you're going to slide, but you can step back and then come back with something. Study your opponent.
เห็นไหมครับการป้องกันทีนี้
So these are some of the techniques that you can employ to avoid your opponent's attempt to push kick you to the leg.
บุกเขาตอกทำเขาตอกอาจจะเป็น
Now, after you avoid his kick to your leg, you want to counter
เราจะเป็นเข่า
with the knee, the kick of your own, elbow, punch,
มือก่อนนะครับสำหรับหมัดก่อน
whatever is opening for you.
ก้าวมาแล้วครับฮุกเลยนะฮะ
Hook punch, long hook is good to use.
ฮุกฮับหมัดขวาตรงครับโค้งเลยฮะอันที่สองก็คือศอกนะฮะครับศอกหนักเข้าไปเลย
Look for the opening
ศอกเข้าไปเลยนะฮะ
and use your weapon.
ครับศอกเข้าไปเลยอันที่สามคือเข่านะฮะเข่า
Now, if he really thinks he's going to be able to kick you and you move out, he should lose his balance a little bit and fall into your punch or kick, which will only make it all the more effective.
ครับเตะเห็นไหมฮะก้าวเราเตะเลยครับครับเตะครับเตะขา
Make him sorry that he tried to attack you.
เห็นไหมครับนี่คือการป้องกันสำหรับเขาถีบขาเรา
So
ป้องกันสำหรับ
that's how you handle if he's trying to push kick to your
เมื่อ
legs.
เขา
Now, if he's push kicking higher to the body,
เราจะทำอย่างไรแล้วเมื่อเขาต่อ
there are some different
สู้เราแล้ว
techniques that we'll
เขาต้องการให้
employ.
เราแพ้น็อกให้เราเจ็บเราจะหนีให้ได้ต่อจากนั้นเราต้องบุกเขาต่อ
Again, footwork's important. Don't be a sitting target.
ถ้าเขาถีบที่หน้า
Be light on
ท้
your
อง
feet.
เราถีบที่หน้าท้องเรา
He'll be kicking higher
กันอย่างนี้นะครับอันดับแรก
to try to kick you in the stomach and the body with a push kick.
ปัดเขาออกนะ
You can grab his leg, you can step out,
แล้วเราปัดเขา
just
ต่อ
push it aside.
เห็นไหมแล้วปัดเขาออกฮะตีด้วยข้อมือฮะตีด้วยข้อมือ
Turn your hand out and use the palm.
โดนนะครับครับนะฮะไม้ตีเขาออกนะฮะ
Push it
อัน
out.
ที่สองตีเข้าด้านในนะฮะตีเข้าด้านใน
Or turn it in and grab him.
นะฮะตีเข้าด้านในนะฮะตีเข้า
Now, I'm not holding it tight here, I'm just pushing it out and grabbing it,
ล็อกเขาอย่างนี้นะฮะยกขึ้นเฉยๆยกขึ้น
trying to make him lose his balance, make his momentum, knock him
ย
down,
กขึ้นสูงนะเขาถีบเรา
using his own energy against himself.
ง่ายๆครับ
Or I can hold it.
เราตีด้วยข้อมือเราจับ
Using the
จั
back of
ข้อมื
my
ยก
hand
ขึ้นหรือถ้าเราด้านในนะฮะเราตีเขาด้านในฮุกหรือถ้าเราฮุก
So I can go to either side,
ครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะ
in or out.
การตีครับนี่คือการตี
Out
การตีปัดออกนะฮะปัดออกอันที่สามตีเขาด้านในนะฮะ
Or in
เห็นไหมครับมือขวาต่อยได้เลย
And then I can punch, counter. Grab it,
ครั้งหนึ่งด้านนอกครับแล้วจับด้านนอก
be ready to counter. Move him back. From all of these defensive techniques, you want to set yourself up so that you're able to counter.
การป้องกันสำหรับเขา
And that's what I want to move on to next.
เมื่อป้องกันเขาแล้ว
When your opponent comes at you with a push kick to the
เรา
body,
ต้องบุกเขาตอบทำ
we're gonna
เขา
grab it,
เขา
push it away,
ลากดูง่ายๆ
and then we're gonna
นะ
counter.
ดูนะผมจะปัดเขา
tries to
ออก
kick, I grab it to the outside,
เขา
and I can kick out the other leg and knock him down.
ง่าย
Sweep him out. Or kick out both legs if I drop it.
ตัวนะฮะครับทำ
Or
ตัว
kick him to this other side.
ครับเตะขาหน้านะฮะเตะขาหน้าหรือผมจะยับเขา
Set yourself up.
มานะฮะยกขึ้น
Push him
มา
back into the ropes, then when he comes off,
หรือต่อไปอย่างนี้ฮะ
counter.
ปังปังปังปุ๊บ
Long hook,
นะฮะปั๊บก่อนลำตัว
punch to the body, punch to the head,
ดูง่ายๆแล้วศอกนะครับครับศอก
elbow.
ดูนะ
If your defensive technique is good enough, you will be able to set yourself up
นี่เรื่องเข่า
for a counter that will make them very sorry for their attempted attack. Knee. Look for the openings.
เห็นไหมครับ
Know your skills, know your strengths.
ทั้งศอกทั้งหมัดทั้งเตะ
So these are some evasive techniques you can use
เขาพุชหมาเราที่
if your opponent comes at you with the push kicks.
เมื่อเราเขาพลาดเราปัด
You push him out, push him in,
เขาตอบนะครับเลือกผิด
kick him. We're going to talk more, and I'm going to show you on how to counter the push kick with a push kick. And this is a drill actually that we do in my seminars and my classes, and we work in partners going back and forth. Helps us both develop the push kick and counters to
ให้
it.
ดูว่า
We're now going to cover evasive and defensive techniques you can employ if your opponent tries to clinch and knee you.
ฉะนั้นเราจะป้องกันตั้งแต่
Now the best thing to do is, as he comes in and tries to grab your head, you want to prevent him from doing that. If he can't grab your head, then he can't knee you as easily or as powerfully. You want to elevate on your toes. Don't let him compress you. As he comes in, meet his arms. Comes in, tries to grab you, elevate and push his arms up. Meet him. Don't let him grab you. Be strong and tight, elevate from the feet, don't squat down. Make yourself tall and tight and strong. Block it. Elevate up. That's the first thing you want to do. You see him coming in to grab your head, you meet him with your arms, then bring your leg up. This is the second step. You can go between the legs. You block him, and before he can knee you, you knee him first. You've got to be quicker. Or you can turn the knee over. Instead of going between the legs, go to the stomach with your knee. Be tight in the shoulders. Don't let him compress you.
ต่อไปผมจะหมุนตัวออกนะฮะ
Or move out. Just move out, and now I can kick him in the back. Just move out. Twist his arms.
ต่อไปนี้ถ้าเขาจับเราได้นะฮะเราจะทำอย่างไรเขาจับคอเราได้นะฮะดูนะเขาจะจับคอผม
Now, if he does grab your neck, you still want to be on your toes, elevate, be tight in the shoulders, grab his neck, pull it one way, and push the elbow up also to get yourself out. I'm going to pull his neck down, push the elbow up. See my hands? And slip my head out, and then knee him. And pull down in the neck, push up in the elbow, slide out and around. I can knee him in the back. Stay on your toes when you get in a clinch. Elevate. Be tight in the shoulders. Now, I'm jamming him with my knee across his body so he can't move his legs into me. I'm keeping him away from me so he can't move in to knee me. So those are some techniques that you can use if your opponent gets you in a clinch, but you can prevent him from kneeing you. Most of the fighters who have good knee technique need to get you in that clinch. Now there's other counters that we can do either before the clinch or when you're in it, with the hands, the elbows. I'll show you those now. Prevent it and knee directly. Prevent it and knee. Just meet his arms, be strong in your arms and shoulders, twist him out and kick him. Step out and kick. You see that his arms come up to grab your neck or your head, you want to move out. That's the most important thing. That's the first step to avoid getting kneed in a clinch. Meet him an elbow, meet him an uppercut. He's coming in close, so you want to use your uppercut and hook punches. Or your elbows. As his arms come up, his ribs are open. So go for the ribs or the stomach. Go inside. Now we've covered a lot of material on these 4 tapes, and to work on it you really need a partner to work with. But to really accelerate your development, if you can have access to authentic Muay Thai instruction with a real instructor, you'll learn quicker and faster and really become a more skilled fighter. What I want to show you here are some combinations of everything: punches, elbows, knees, and kicks. Now this is just a starting point. It's important that you work on what I show you here, but it's more important that you develop your own combinations based on your strengths and how strong your skills get as you acquire them. Be creative, don't be narrow-minded. There are many, many possibilities. These are just some of them. This is where we start to put it all together. Now the first thing I'm going to do for you is a jab, right cross, left kick. Again, don't be flat-footed.
หนึ่งสอง
You light on your
ดู
feet.
ว่าเราจะเตะได้ไหมก้าวปังนะฮะอีกครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆหนึ่งยับให้มืออย่าตกนะฮะ
Jab,
ขวา
the
ตัด
cross,
เข้ามาซ้าย
and then the kick.
โอเคให้เร็วขึ้นนะครับ
Don't rush yourself. Set up for the kick. Jab, cross, kick. You use the punches to set up the kick. In Muay Thai, the kicks are your power. It's good if you can knock them out with a punch, but you want to kick them.
อันที่สองก็คือต่อยปัง
Jab, right cross, right kick.
นะฮะง่าย
You want to be able to kick with either side of your body after this combination. 1-2 left kick, 1-2 right kick.
มือจะตก
Remember how we kick? Launch off the back foot, turn the body,
ยืนขึ้นไปเท้าตัวเอง
bend the front knee a little, spring up.
หนึ่งสองตัด
Your kick should be good by now. I'm not going to go over the basics.
ปัง
We're working on combining all the elements so that you can spar and fight in the ring. 1-2, right kick. Jab cross, right kick.
Combination ที่สาม
Next,
ก็คือ
push
หนึ่ง
kick, round kick,
ทีบ
knee and elbow.
เตะ
Push the opponent off, round kick, bring the leg back, knee, and then throw the elbow.
ทีบเตะพอเตะแล้วกลับที่เดิม
This is good if your opponent's coming in, you want to get him off you with a push kick. Push him off, round kick, bring the leg back, knee, and then the elbow.
เห็นไหมครับช้าๆทีบ
Push him off, round kick, come in with the knee, and then the elbow.
โอเคครับ
Left push kick, right round kick, right knee, right elbow. Start slow with these combinations and then gradually build the speed and power. Give yourself time to learn them before you rush yourself through it. Next, we have the jab, round kick, and then we're going to clinch and knee him.
แล้วก็จับคอ
Come in close and then throw the knee.
ครั้งหนึ่งยับ
Jab, round
พ
kick,
ยายามจับเขา
clinch, and knee.
ถ้าโยกเขาตี
Move them with the clinch.
โอเคครับ
We use the jab to bridge the distance and then come in. Set things up with the jab. Jab, round kick, grab him and knee him. Move him with the clinch.
เตะขวา
Right kick, and then the hook. Double right kick.
เตะวับวับกลับมาฮุกโอเคครับเตะปังปังฮุกนะฮะ
If you kick him hard enough with the right twice, he should move to the left, and then he's going into your hook.
ปังฮุก
Or he might try to move out and avoid your kick,
สอกขึ้นมา
especially the second one.
ครั้งหนึ่งปังปัง
And then you have the hook.
เห็นไหมครับ
Come through with the elbow on the hook. You might catch him with the elbow.
ฮุก
Kick, kick, hook. Kick, kick, hook. Vary your timing and your beat and rhythm. Don't always be bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, beat, hook.
แล้วการมวยต่อยขวาแล้วหลอกต่อยขวา
Next, it's
ต่อย
right hand, left hook.
ซ้ายฮุกซ้ายแล้ว
Clinch him, knee, push him away from you, and then kick him.
ดูครั้งหนึ่งนะ
After the clinch, you want to push the opponent out. After you're done kneeing him and cranking him around, push him away from you and finish him with a kick.
นะครับนะต่อยปังปังจับ
Clinch, knee, maybe two knees, push him out and kick him.
นะครับยืนรอ
Clinch, knee, push him out, and kick.
ครั้งหนึ่งนะครับปังปัง
Set him up with the punches, come in, clinch, knee,
เฮ้ยพัก
push him away from you, and kick him.
เฮ้ย
Now I'm doing it a little faster for you. All these combinations, start slowly, acquire the skills, and move on.
บังเลยฮะ
Block with the shin, replace the leg,
เตะ
kick, and then push him off. This is fairly difficult, blocking and kicking with the same leg. You've got to reload. You've got to replace your leg so you can kick afterwards. Block, kick, and then push him away. Either side, block, kick, push kick. All three with the same leg. Block, kick, push kick. Block, kick, push kick. I'm moving Walter pretty good here. It's fairly difficult to perform all three with one leg. You're going to block with the shin, kick, knee the other side, and then the elbow. Left block, kick, knee, elbow. Block, round kick, knee, elbow. Block, round kick, knee, and then the elbow. Left block, left round kick, right knee, right elbow. Left block, left kick, right knee, right elbow. Catch the leg here, punch him while you're holding the leg, and then kick him. Catch and hold, and then kick. Catch, punch, kick. Catch him, punch, and then kick. Catch, punch, kick. Next, we're going to catch his leg, pull him into us, kick both thighs, and he should fall over. And then his head will be low and you kick high. Kick low and then high. Watch how this works. Catch the leg, kick low, kick high. Catch the leg, kick both legs low, and kick high. When you kick both legs low, he might double over and bring his head down or his upper body down, and that's why you want to kick high. You're setting up that high kick with the low kick before it. That's the strategy we're employing here. Now we're going to kick to the leg, kick to the body, kick to the neck. All three zones, one after the other. Low, body, neck. What this will do is your opponent may try to cover one of these spots. If you kick low, he may try to cover down there. Then you go to the body, you may try to cover the body, and he'll leave the head open. You're trying to create an opening for yourself. And the neck is the best place to kick, if you can. Low to the leg, into the body, and then higher to the neck. Double leg, double body, double neck. This drill is great for two things. One, you're going to hone your skills, and two, you'll build your endurance. If you can do 3 rounds of this, you're ready for a fight.